out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? What's to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. Y'all can hear the laughter. Y'all should hear some of the things we talk about before I hit record and when I hit stop. It's hilarious. P, what's going on, my little sis?
Not a whole lot. It's so good to be here.
No doubt. Kel in the building. Queens is finest. What's going on, bro?
Always good to be here. Salute everybody.
I gotta pause for a minute. The Sound Factory. I don't know about the sound. I'm used to your record labels. I don't know about the Sound Factory. So
Sound Factory club, mainly known for house music, but I was listening to Kenny Parker earlier today, and for whatever reason, watched a YouTube show, and made me think about it. So the Sound Factory is mainly known for house music, but best known for KRS Throw and PM doing up the stage. So Okay. Let me find out. This dude got record label. Now he got club shirts. This dude, come on, man. Yo, forget this running for alumni president. You should be running for mayor of NYC. You come on, bro. You might as well just put it out there and just make it happen. The youngest in charge R&B guru JR. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Feel good to be here, man. I'm ready to do this.
You feeling good about this Knicks Pistons lineup?
Of course.
All right.
I'm a little nervous.
I just had to get hard real quick, but I'm a little nervous.
Yo, here's the thing. We all know I ain't paying attention to the NBA all year. I had no idea they went from like 14 wins to like being in the playoffs. So I had no idea. So, it's good to see. It's good to see. Bro, what's good, bro? Fam, you good?
Yep, I'm good. Happy to be here. Everything's lovely.
Daily reminder, the Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And Vague out of BK. What's going on, bro? I see everybody is nicked up. Everybody is ready. Love to see it. Yo, y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. Every now and then, probably every other month, sometimes I'll forget about them, but we have been saluting every year of hip-hop starting in 1988. One of the reasons I love this show, these shows, is because you really kind of get to see the ebbs and flow of hip hop, how things change. We started in 88. We always talk about our top 5 albums that year, slept on albums, who was the dopest MC, producer, slept on MC and producer, and then just what was the vibe of that year. So like I said, if you go back and you watch the years, you can kind of see like, oh, Kane was this man in 88 and 89, but by 90, now it was Ice Cube, and you kind of see the ebbs and flows of where hip-hop went, fads that were in style, how they went out of style, and new things came in. So we are up to the year of 1999. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all remember. I remember this year and just being so hyped because I'm such a big Prince fan that I've been singing 1999 since 1982. So it's kind of like, damn, we are finally here. Like, everybody's like, this is going to be the most played. I would love to see if that was the most played song of the year, because that was supposed to be the thing. Like, it's 1999. We got to celebrate that. So we're going to be looking at your top 5 dopest albums from 99. Slept on albums, dopest MC, producer, slept on MCs and producers, and what was the vibe of hip hop from 99 going into 2000. I'll set us off. My number 5 album for this year is one of me and Rel's favorite groups ever, the Beatnuts Musical Massacre right here. I love this album. Now I understand a lot of people are not Beatnuts fans. I've seen that over the years. It's one of the things that It's not only on Twitter, it's in real life too. I know Ev is not a huge Beatnut fan, and so I know a lot of hip hop heads. Vague, I don't think you were a huge Beatnuts fan as far as like their stuff, but this album to me, I mean, Beatnuts Forever. I mean, is oh man, Watch Out Now is on here. So many bangers on this album. And I know that this would probably make most people slept on list for 99, but being at 889 at this time, we were running Watch Out Now, and I think You Are Clown is on here with Biz, R.I.P. to Biz. We just played the hell out of this album, so to me, it definitely makes my top 5. And with JR in the building, we always want to talk about R&B. My number 5 R&B album this year is gonna go to 702 with their album 702. So many bangers on there, in my opinion. Just an incredible album. So that's my first up. JR, we're gonna pee. Are we still coming to you last?
You don't have to, but I don't have any R&B. I can't go for anything I want to add.
It's all good. It's all good. So what do you have up for your number 5 album from 1999?
Number 5, I have all of my album choices I think are dope, but I'm just gonna say Things Fall Apart by The Roots. Mm-hmm. Like that's the joint with You Got Me with Erykah Badu, and I love that song so much. As you guys know, like I love love, and that was just, I do so love much, and that was a very heart melting song, and I love it. So that one always stuck out for me, but at the same time, it's just a good overall album as well. So yeah, Things Fall Apart for sure. One of my favorite Roots albums, but not my favorite. Not my most favorite, I should say.
What is your most favorite?
Illadelph, Half Life. Yeah, love that album.
Yeah, I've said it a million times. I'm so amazed at the correlation between Tribe and the Roots. Especially with me. People's Instinctives was cool. Do You Want More was cool. Loved Low End. Loved Illadelph. Didn't think they could top it. Then you got Midnight. Then you got Things Fall Apart. The second dude in charge is Malik B. Fife's real name is Malik. Fife wasn't really rapping on the first album, neither was Malik B. By the second album, it's to come. It really is amazing to me, like how their trajectory just lines up damn near perfect. The next album, Phrenology, was a letdown to me. Beats, Rhymes, and Life. I've realized now people love it. I didn't. I was let down when I first heard that joint, and it's just amazing to me how like they kind of line up perfectly against each other. So definitely feel you on Illadelph. JR, what you got up for your top 5 album out of 1999?
All right. Well, my first one for hip hop, I did Missy The Real World. Because mom loved Missy, so she played this album down for real. So definitely was one of my plays in 99 as far as hip hop. And I'm gonna say for R&B, I'm gonna say Angie Stone, Black Diamond. My whole family, that was a family album, and R.I.P. to Angie Stone, but we ran that album down for real. Like you could tell, like D'Angelo was a part of it. Like it was just a thick album, man. It was dope from beginning to end. Ali Shaheed Muhammad produced the record on there. Like it was dope. So that was definitely an annual play in my household with Angie Stone, Black Diamond. So,
I honestly think I'm the only person who does not categorize Missy as hip hop. I think for some reason to me, she's just always been R&B. But I realize that I'm the only, like everybody else, categorizes her as a female MC and puts her under that. And I'm just the only person who doesn't. But The Real World, very dope album. But in again, my mind, that would have fell under R&B. But again, that's just me. Kel, what's up with you? What you got for your number 5?
My number 5 is Sound Bombing 2. That was 1999, Carmen and Sadat, Pharoahe. There's so much compilation. Eminem's on there. Pos, Beat Junkies. I mean, this is a dope album. High tech, a lot of production. It's just a dope. Love that album. I love Sound Bombing 1 too, but Sound Bombing 2 just to me took it a whole nother level.
Yeah, very dope album. Very dope album. I'm gonna definitely talk about that joint later on. Rel, what you got up for your number 5?
So they're supposed to be in order, because
I mean, if you don't have them in order, you can just throw them out what you got.
All right. So hip hop, I got Murder Music.
That was on my list.
You know how I feel about MOBB Deep, and
do we, bro?
Right?
Do you know how you feel about MOBB Deep? I'm not sure if we do. I'm not sure if they do. The listening audience, if
they got a full show about it.
Yeah,
right.
Just go back to some shows. Right. We're not gonna revisit that. But yeah, so as you know, it's hard to follow up. Like when Infamous came out, hard to follow that up, and they get Hell on Earth, and then again, to me, that was another classic album to me. So following up with a third album, Murder Music, and the joint was fire, and Pete, it had the original Quiet Storm on there, which is just a masterclass. You know what I'm saying? It was saying by Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? And I think this album, we look at like the features and some of the beats. This was a little more diverse of an album for them. Like they had the joint with was it 8 Ball of MJG?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they had some good stuff on there, and I think this was a good like 4.5 mic album. You know what I'm saying? And I got an R&B, they not in order, but I got a Donell Jones, Where I Want to Be.
That's a top one for me.
That's like one of my favorite R&B albums. I can listen to that joint like really almost straight through, to be honest with you. The title track was, monumental. The lyrics is crazy though when you really listen to it, but it was fire. But that
you're a fuck boy.
That album is classic. So yeah, I go with that one. Yeah, those lyrics is crazy. Like,
oh my god,
you like, damn.
That whole album, he talking shit, like for real.
Yeah.
Classic and shit though.
And one thing, man, I always loved that album cover too. Just with him on the guitar getting his cigarette lit, like I thought that was ill album cover. Veg, what's the
notes?
What you said?
Myron should have took notes on that.
I was waiting. Come on, you knew what was gonna happen.
No, it's cool, y'all. And see, here's the thing, y'all. We gonna do this every time because I want people to get the joke and I want people to understand where this joke
they
comes
did
from.
It last show too.
This is one of my favorite R&B albums.
That's 98, right? 98.
What happened? This is 98.
Right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite R&B albums. They clown on me because the way this nigga is sprawled out across the bed. And that's cool. It's a whack cover. It is. But it's a dope album. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So people have asked me like, yo, why do they clown you with Myron? So I said, every time y'all bring that shit up, I'm gonna show the cover so that people can join in on the laughs too. It's a prime example of what I'm talking about on Twitter, y'all. Y'all gotta stop being so goddamn hard. It's okay to crack jokes. Niggas be getting mad because I crack jokes. It's like, yo, it's this party. I can tell when niggas ain't from the hood because this is just regular hood shit. Like, crack a joke. It's funny. The shit is funny. You know what I mean? I didn't think it looked this bad until y'all started fucking with me about it.
Well, show the back, though. Show the back.
I mean,
yes. Now that's an album cover.
Right, but I guess at the end of the day, when I got this, I wasn't like, look at this motherfucker sprawled out. I never even thought two things about it.
My whole beef with this is you don't give Myron a hard time for that, but you don't listen to DJ Quick.
I was just about to say that.
Here's the thing. There's a difference because he had a perm. Like, that's not your album cover. That's you.
Listen, this is like the physical version of a perm. Okay, like this is like
he got finished banging. Like back in the day, banging your joint on silk sheets was fly. That was some fly shit.
As a cover,
you match your fit with your silk sheets.
Sorry,
maybe
the John. But I can't see the John on there. Where is the John?
I hate you, boy. It's all good. It's all good. You see how I take the laugh, y'all? It's funny. Everybody on Twitter, loosen the fuck up. Stop being so fucking uptight. There's nothing wrong with being joked about. So you're right, of course. I don't see the John. I'm just assuming. I am assuming and giving him the benefit of the doubt that nigga, you just got finished doing something, but maybe he did.
Okay, thank you. All I'm saying is DJ Quick needed that same place and didn't get it.
Okay, hey, before the Myron jokes, what's your number 5, bro?
Yeah, I'll leave Myron alone today. I didn't do any order, but my hip hop. I also had the Roots. Things Fall Apart. Illadelph Half-Life is probably my favorite, but in 1999, Things Fall Apart just felt like, you could tell when that group is taking that step to that next level. They're no longer just amongst the pack of, dope beats and spitters. It's more, even though they're doing that on there, but it's more songs. So I love like the songs they have because I think they fit. I think there was a reason why they became so popular beyond, the hip hop audience. But also I love the rapping on there, man. And I love like that Beanie Sigel feature, man. That's when I was like, yo, this dude could rap. To LA, Shaq, Eddie, Kobe Bryant, and them, like he was woo. Like even though everybody else was kind of using that flow, when he did it, I was like, nah, he different. Like he's way different. And it's one of those things where even though I couldn't hear it in like Black Thought and stuff like that, I would have to like listen deeply to say, oh yeah, they're from Philly. Like with Beanie, I could hear it. Like, yo, he got the accent. You know what I'm saying? But it's like taking that accent and making it work in hip hop, so you don't have to know where people from. It's just dope. But overall, yeah, that the album is great. Like again, for some people, it was a jumping off point for the Roots. For some of y'all, it was Black Thought's freestyle, and then you discovered the Roots. It's cool. I ain't gonna leave you alone. But yeah, man, definitely one of the better albums of that year, hands down. So,
yeah, no doubt. Number 4, I got Black on Both Sides by Mos Def. I remember the day my man, I'm vague, we're still at 889, and my Raucous Connect hit me like, yo, we got the advance of the Mos in the Pharoahe Monch joint. You know what I mean? Because they both came out, I think, like a week apart or whatever like that. And I mean, the Mos joint, I won't hold you. At first, I was disappointed because I think I just was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. I just remember not loving it, but then eventually loving it. It was like one of them albums that had to grow on me. But, now, I mean, I love it. I think I wanted like more mathematics than anything. Like I wanted that more boom bap and everything like that. But I mean, of course, everything has grown on me since then. So that's my number 4. And then on the R&B, I'm going to go with Mint Conditions, Life in the Aquarium. I love that.
Wow. That's
Be Like That Sometimes, Pretty Lady with Charlie Wilson, If You Love Me, Is This Pain or Pleasure? Just so many bangers on that joint. I hate when people, I don't know if you come across this, but I feel like the average person just feels like it was just Pretty Brown Eyes and Forever in Your Eyes, and that was it. Like they like, oh, Mint Condition had other songs. I'm like, nigga, did they? Like, I got a best of Mint Condition mixtape, but it just seems like the average person thinks it's just those 2 songs and that's it. And I love this album. So
that and probably You Send Me Swinging.
Yeah. You Send Me Swinging.
That's it.
Man, they sell out though. They
do. I've been to like 3-4 of their concerts. They be sold out.
Yep.
Now tell me this, JR. Is it all of Mint Condition or is it just Stokely and some other niggas? Because I feel like with them, nobody.
The last one that I went to, the only one that was when the last one I went to was the Prince, when they did a Prince tribute, and the only one that wasn't there was Carrie. Everybody else was the original. But now Stokely ain't there now, so.
Oh, Stokely ain't in Mint Condition no more?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So when they tour.
Yeah. So they They did, yeah, because you know he on this solo tip and he doing plays and stuff now too. So
he doing the Mama Why Cable Get Cut Off plays.
He's Rick James.
Oh right? Man,
I think
Mama Why Cable Get Cut Off.
That was some old Medea shows. You be sitting around like, yo, nigga, whatever happened to that motherfucker Johnny Gill? And then come on the radio like, Mama Why Cable Get Cut Off, starring Johnny Gill, fucking Cockroach from the Cosby Show. Like, and they would give you the names. They wouldn't even say Carl Payne. They'd be like Cockroach from the Cosby Show. Like, they just go straight in on the names, and everybody was like, damn, yeah, you know. But
he's doing Rick James.
Oh, okay, so he's doing the Rick James joint.
He plays Rick James.
Here's the thing that I don't know if y'all heard this, but it was an interview with Raphael Sadiq, and he was saying that Stokely had called them like, yo, you know, they trying to get me to replace you in the Tonys.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess the label was trying to like be like, all right, he's going solo. We need somebody, and they reached out to Stokely. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out of here. I didn't know that.
And here's the thing, I wouldn't even know. I don't know nobody but Stokely. It could be all of y'all up there on the fucking stage with Mint Condition, and I wouldn't know no better because I don't know what any. I just know the nigga who Tony was messing with, and that's the nigga Carrie, right?
Yeah, that's her.
And I probably couldn't even tell you what he looked like on a good day. I just know the boy was light skinned. So, but we gotta talk about that. How these groups be changing, like how Drew Hill is now like a mixture of Drew Hill and
Player.
Player, right? You know what I mean? What are you gonna say, Beck?
No, I was gonna say I've seen them perform before, and my wife is a big fan, but I was kind of like that on the fringe fan where, you know, I heard songs and I always liked it. The show was incredible, and I could tell it was, and I mean truly, like from the instrumentation, everything was like, I was surprised how much I liked it. I was like, oh, I didn't expect this. Like, I knew Stokely could sing, and I was kind of looking forward to that, but I was like, nah, this is a show. And you, like you said, you don't realize how many hits they had as a group. Like, you don't realize it's not just, you know, how they were introduced to you. But I was like, you kill. I was like, okay, that's Stokely. Who them other niggas? And I just went off crowd reaction, like, oh, that must be him. Like, you know, he must have been there in the beginning.
Right.
And I think that dude was there, but this was a while ago. The light skinned cat. So yeah. I
mean, dog, if you had 100K in front of my face and said name 4 members of Mint Condition, nigga, I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna be like Stokely and them. Stokely. I'm just rambling off black names. They from Minneapolis. I don't know. Jimmy, maybe there's a Jimmy in the group, maybe there's a Morris. Like, I'm just naming niggas from Minnesota at this point. You know, there's a Kirby Puckett in the group. Like, I'm just naming black niggas from Minneapolis. That's all I got.
And Morgan State, Kill. You know they shot the video Morgan.
I know they shot the first joint at Morgan State like in '91. Yeah.
That's the record label put them out there. So yeah.
I wonder how that even connected. Was they banging somebody at Morgan?
Nah, the record company put out like a promotion saying we want someone to shoot this video. They're trying to do it for cheap too. So Morgan put out a sample, and they were like, "Oh, we like the way you guys did this, so we're gonna have them do their promo there." The promo video.
Wow. Yeah. That's dope. That's crazy. P, what you got up for number 4?
I'm going to go with Slim Shady LP. And I never talk about Eminem on this show ever. And I don't think you've ever. I've never really mentioned Eminem at all. And Eminem is okay. I really enjoy Eminem, but only up until a certain point. So I didn't ever listen to the Infinity album, which was his debut. Didn't even know about it. Don't care about it. So Slim Shady LP was my first exposure to Eminem, and of course we know how that went. So it's like shock value rap. He's coming out like guns blazing with lyrics. Like he definitely had everyone talking. Like he did what he came to do, and he came to sort of, I don't know, I consider that, I guess it's not really his debut, but for me it was like the debut out in the open or whatever. Like I had never heard him before. So for me,
hold tight. So that wasn't his debut album?
No, he had a 1996 release.
Yeah.
I've never heard it. I've never heard it a day in my life. But
was it a major label release or was it indie release?
I think it might have been indie. I don't know, because I think Slim Shady LP was the first album he linked with Dr. Dre on. I'm sure someone out there will correct me if I'm wrong, but
I always thought that was his debut.
I thought it was his debut too. I've heard him before rhyming with Outsiders. Yeah.
So at the time, like back in '99, when you hear the lyrics, it's like, who is this dude and why is he saying this like wild shit? You know what I mean? Like all the time, and he's not afraid to do it, and he's going like big with it, you know, linking with Dr. Dre. So for me, that was pretty dope. Like I did enjoy it's a strong album. It's a really good album. And so for me, I enjoyed it, and I liked like his next two albums. After that, the reason why I don't really mention Eminem is because he kind of played out that shock value, and then this like fast rapping and all of the things that we kind of liked and listened to from the Slim Shady LP onwards, it kind of got old. So people think I hate on Eminem all the time. I don't. I actually really like M, but I like him to a certain point, and then I'm like, okay, enough with this. Like, it's just getting old. So Slim Shady LP, I think, is one of the best albums out of '99. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, no doubt. JR, what you got up for number 4?
All right, number 4. Well, this album came out like the last week of December, so I consider it like 99. I said DMX Back to My Flesh, for real. That is my favorite DMX album anyway. But yeah, and I mean, I got it in January of '99 anyway, but it came out in the 22nd of December of '98 or something like that. But yeah, I love this album for real. So I even got it on vinyl. So I ran that.
I love that you went with that one, because DMX actually had an album released in '99. And then there was that. So,
and at the end,
yeah. So it's interesting you took a '98 joint over into '99 when he had it in '99. But I'm not mad at it, JR.
Yeah. So I got that, and then for my R&B, I got number 4. I got Destiny's Child Writings on the Wall. That's my favorite Destiny's Child record, to be honest. The girls came with nothing to play with. The 4 girls. It was that first album to me was corny. I don't care what none of y'all Destiny's Child fans say. That jump was corny to me. It didn't do anything for me. I was like, who's these Houston girls? Whatever. I was not no. I was whatever. But when they came out with this, I was like, all right, I can rock with it. You know what I mean? So then I played that joint back. So that's my number 4.
What's the song off the album? I don't know what's the
what off the Rise Off the Wall?
Yeah, what's that?
This was Bills.
Oh,
Say My Name, Bugaboo.
Okay,
shit, yeah, they had so much shit on there. The Temptations joint, Confessions with Missy, like all that. So
okay, that's a fact.
All right, no doubt. Cal, what you got?
My number 4 I have is Things Fall Apart. So the Roots. Pretty much everything you guys said. The Next Movement. I love that video. I love the video. Obviously the joint with Erica or Jill Scott or both. Yeah, that's but yeah, Elf is my favorite album too, but Things Fall Apart is my second favorite.
All right, dope. Ral, what you got up for number 4?
I had Slim Shady LP, and I got a similar, thing with M that Porsche does. Like, I kind of stopped listening to M after a certain point, but I know when this album came out, there was a lot of buzz around him, and it was just shocking to hear some of the stuff he was saying. And then he can rap. Nobody will ever say that he can't rap. You know what I'm saying? It's what do you want to hear? But this album was good, man. This album was I remember hearing it, and I liked it and listened to it. You know what I'm saying? It was like she says, a lot of shock value in the album. But I had heard him before, but I didn't hear him like this, because like rapping with the Outsiders, it wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? When he was rapping with Pace One and Young Z and all them. So this was different, and it took the world by storm. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't deny it. So that was mine. And my R&B, I got Personal Conversation, Case. You know, got Happy Ever After on there, Faded Pictures, Think of You. You know, this is his most complete album. You know what I'm saying? Case, good singles. This is because my favorite song is Missing You. We all know that, but this album is way more complete than what was the name of that album that Missing You was on?
Open Letter.
Open Letter, yeah. This is his best and most complete album, Personal Conversation. So I'm gonna go with that.
No doubt. Vague, what you got?
I also had Mos Def, Black on Both Sides, for everything you mentioned. I also was kind of disappointed at first because of, you know, expectations and what he had done up until that point. So I was expecting more mathematics. This Fat Booty was surprisingly dope to me, and it was getting played in the club like crazy. And then songs like Umi Says that, you know, at first I'm like, why is this on here? But it just kind of stands the test of time as a dope record. But yeah, I think he kind of lived up to the hype, but in a way that we couldn't anticipate. And sometimes that's a good thing more than, you know, a bad thing, because he didn't fulfill whatever, you know, I was thinking it was going to be. But yeah, it got a lot of spins for me in '99 amongst everything else. But yeah, I think that was a dope album out of Rawkus at a time where Rawkus was like at their peak.
Yeah. I think people forget sometimes how big Rawkus was at that time, and they were really competing with the big boys too. You know what I mean? So, number 3, I've got Rawkus again with Eternal Affairs, Pharoahe Monch. Like, love that whole album. We know the whole Simon Says. We know how I feel about titties. So Simon Says was just perfect for me. Queens, there's just so much dope music on that album. It's a 5 mic classic for me. I totally get if nobody else pegs it as a 5 mic classic, but to me that joint is just crazy from beginning to end. The joint Show No Mercy with MOP. That was like a huge Alchemist track. Like, I remember Roots calling me like, yo, this nigga Alchemist like pulled out the ASR from under his bed and just made this beat like right there and everything like that. So definitely that joint. On the R&B side, I'm gonna go with Ghetto Hymns by Dave Hollister. You know what I mean? I love that album. My Favorite Girl, Baby Mama Drama, man, Can't Stay, Keep Forgetting, the I'm Sorry remix. Like, you just talk about somebody who can just sing, just a soul singer. It's like, that's Dave Hollister all day. Gerald, what do you think about this? What was the better Blackstreet? Not better Blackstreet album. Did you prefer Blackstreet with Dave or with Chauncey? Who do you think was the better?
With Mark Middleton.
I mean, yeah, with Mark Middleton. So not what was the better album, but who do you think was the better version of Blackstreet?
I'm Dave. I'm Dave. You know what I mean? But Mark Middleton did come in singing the fuck down with, you know, when he left. But I'm Dave. Dave just a flat footer from the church, yo. Like, I actually like the first Blackstreet album better than Another Level. I know that's the album everybody go to, but I am like how Dave came in off the break. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah, so I'm biased because I'm such a Dave Hollister fan, so I like him better with, you know, Blackstreet. So.
What about you, P? Which Blackstreet do you like better? Dave or Mark?
The second album.
Second album.
Yeah, the second album. Right. Yeah, I'm.
Kel, what about you?
Before I let you go, can I get a kiss tonight? My favorite Blackstreet song. So it's Dave Hollister for me.
Yeah. What about you, Ralph?
Dave.
Okay. What about you, Vic?
Same, Dave Hollister.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I like, but this is the thing. I like the second album better, but I do like Dave Like I would have loved to see what Dave would sound like singing those songs. But like you said, Mark came in and didn't miss a beat. Like it was one of those things where
I think Dave wouldn't have. Them songs wouldn't have been what it was. Dave just attacked songs different than Mark. So Mark came in, and they both from the church. Don't get me wrong, but Dave, like I couldn't see Mark singing Before I Let You Go. Like I just can't. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And then them songs, it's just I couldn't see because I fuck with Another Level too, but I just couldn't see Dave on those. That's why they had to do the interlude where they talk about Dave going solo and all of this kind of mess, which I thought was mad corny. But
now tell me this: was Mark Morrison a new boy, or like had people heard of him before? This was like Teddy.
He was doing like background for people, but within the industry, and then
but this was his first.
His first off the bat. Yeah.
Okay. All right. P, what you got up for number 3?
Black on Both Sides. You guys all mentioned it. I don't want to repeat too much, but Vegas actually nailed it when he referenced Umi Says and Mathematics. I like that album out the gate, though. I wasn't disappointed. I didn't have any expectations, so there was no disappointment factor for me. I just loved it. And what I love about this album and Mos Def in general is just the content of the lyrics. Like, he's just so good at conveying anything in such a clever way, and I love that. Like, Umi Says is just such a powerful song. I love it. And of course, Mathematics, of course, Miss Fat Booty is hilarious and it's fun and all that. And I love that there's that range there. I think it's a complete album from beginning to end, and 5 mics for me, like no skips whatsoever. So yeah.
Funny thing about that album is Mos has a hip hop quotable for life for me with ass so fat that you can see it from the front.
Right.
Yeah, like
it was just
always refers to that.
Right, and I remember hearing that and being like, God damn, it's so fat you can see it from the front. Like, God damn.
It's so quotable that Keith Murray says the same thing in another song. So you're right.
It's just JR, what you got up for number 3?
Number 3, I got Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even like what was the joint, the first joint? What y'all want?
What you really want?
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of that, like at all. Like I was not a fan of it, but I heard Let's Talk About with her and Drag On.
Oh, that's
was
true.
Like,
that's
my God. I was like, okay. All right, now I want it. I was like, let me go get it. And then I got it, and I actually rock with it, to be honest with you, because my favorite on there is Philly with her and Beanie. Like, they killed that joint. So, yeah, I like that. And then Eve was definitely something different. You know what I'm saying? Because we were so Foxy and Kim at that time. So it was like, finally, somebody different. You know what I mean? So she came with Philly. So she was Philly swag. So I was rocking with that. So that was my hip hop, and my R&B would be Ginuwine, 100% Ginuwine. That is Timbaland was in his bag on that one. Like
that's
like
so
I
anxious.
always, huh?
That's so anxious, yeah.
Yeah, so anxious. None of your friends'
business.
Same OG. What's so different? Like all. That's why I say it wouldn't have been no Future Sex, all of that, if it was not 100% Ginuwine. Because what Timbaland was doing, like, what's so different? It was different as hell. This dude used, what was it, Gil?
What's that?
What's so different? What's the sample he used with that?
I haven't heard that song in years. I can't even think.
My God. It was he used like Godzilla or something with that beat.
I mean, it's this dude on Instagram. I'm gonna see if I can find him. He be putting like out the original samples, and some of the stuff that I've always said Timbaland is crazy. Like I always said, when it comes to fucking flipping samples, it's Dilla, Primo, and Timbo. Like those 3 can take a noise and turn it into an entirely new song. Like what he did with Tweets, Oops, that's like bow down. Like nigga, I don't
baby cry and are you that somebody? Like
right.
Yeah, like he's weird like that. But this album was like that. He was in his bag with this. I think Ginuwine and him, they had such a chemistry because The Bachelor is nothing to play with either.
Right.
So, but when the come with 100% Ginuwine, it was just like in the bag with this, and I was like, yeah. And the Final Warning with him and Aaliyah, like that was crazy. Like that whole album is nuts. So if I would tell anybody that what you want to start with Ginuwine, go with 100% Ginuwine because that album is dope from beginning to end.
Yo, here's what are you going on about? Are you guys for real? That album is it sucks.
You said it sucks.
It's like
I love that album.
So Anxious might be the second most annoying song ever made.
Are you
serious? Are you guys?
You
also,
are bugging.
Ginuwine is the king of doing the most. And if you guys don't believe me,
and you like Joe.
You right. When it comes to his dancing, me and Naya was watching one of the videos. She was like, "Is this nigga Batwing or Darkwing Duck?" I'm like, "Yo,
no."
Forget about the
Grammy. His Grammy performance, he was like resurrected from like a casket, and like it was.
Are you talking about when he was on 106 and Park?
106 and Park. Yeah. I was so anxious. I just heard that cross my TL on Instagram the other day, and I was like, God, like this is an ear sore.
It's one of the greatest songs of 2000.
Which one is?
So Anxious. I love that song. I love this album.
You and I have the most different ears on planet Earth.
And hold tight. This is the beautiful thing. Let me look at the camera. This is the beautiful thing about when people say, I block you if we don't agree. Me and my little sister right here didn't agree on shit for about 5 years. Okay. Yep. What did I do? Make her the co-host. I don't want people around me who agree with me. That shit is wrong. I want people around me who is going to bring out other things. Force, make sure Pac gets love and Quick gets love. And that's the goal of this podcast, that people get love. So now we're back. We're back. Because she's saying So Anxious is one of the worst songs. I'm saying it's one of the greatest songs.
It's literally the second worst song after AO Technology. AO Technology is the worst song ever made.
What is AO Technology?
That Justin
and Justin Timberlake, I think.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, that shit is trash.
So Anxious is the second trashiest song ever. It's so annoying.
Force, stop.
Force,
so annoying.
I love that song too. Yeah.
Force, I love that song, man. And the funny thing about it is it has been
having like an episode. Like what is happening off of So Anxious?
It has been sampled so many other times to make great songs. Like the Sunday choir that Kanye used done freaked So Anxious into a gospel song. The dudes from what are them dudes, JR, from Toronto? They was down with Drake for a while. Oh, I shouldn't even said Drake and Toronto with you.
Why are we talking? Of course you have to talk about that when So Anxious is being
the joint about pulling out. I don't want to pull out.
And they were down with Drake.
They was down. They out of Toronto. I'm gonna find it because I love the song. Neither here nor there. Here's a funny story about that album. So I'm at Tower Records in Rockville, and I'm buying the album, and the dude behind the counter is like, "Guess what?" I'm like, "What, nigga?" He was like, "You win free 2 tickets to see Ginuwine," and I was like, "All right, nigga. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go see the nigga." I was like, a shorty was behind. I was like, "You want these tickets?" Like, I don't want to. This nigga was so hyped to give me these tickets. And I was like, "I want to go see that nigga. I just want to buy the album, nigga. Like, that's all I want. I don't want no tickets to go see him or whatever." And he was like so excited to give them to me, and I was like, "Yeah, nigga, nah, I'm a pass on going to see Ginuwine." But yeah, and they called him Darkwing Duck. So
I'm not surprised.
In one of them videos, she was like, "What is this outfit?" I was like, "Yeah, he does do the much and the S curl on the side." But you know, and then he just fell off the stage the other day, you know, so, you know, it is what it is. Kel, what you got up for number 3, bro?
All right, so you know my next 3 are all Queens, so.
I wouldn't. I'm shocked it took us this long, so, to be honest with you.
True. I got Nas, I Am. So.
What is happening to this group? What is going on right now? What? Kel, I understand the loyalty to New York, man. Like, I get it. But, like, really? I want to hear this.
Yo, we got to have a long conversation about Nas in this year. Because that's one of my things about the vibe of this year that I want to discuss is this Nas joint. So I just want to make sure: are we talking about the bootleg I Am or the actual release?
The bootleg.
You know it. First song I hear from the bootleg is Nas is like. Then I hit Blaze at 50. I'm like, I'm on. So Project Windows. Then the album comes out. I'm like, what is this?
What is this?
It's not the same. So I'm going back to the bootleg. But also I do like Hate Me Now, only because of the video. The video shot on Linden Boulevard, right in Queens. So then they're the bodega, him and the other dude. But it's yeah.
The diddler.
I love it. Good.
Here's the wild part. Here's the wildest part about this. And Vague, this is probably, I know you attest to this because you was in the clubs heavy. Me and Kaz were in New Orleans at the Gavin, and the DJ premiered Hate Me Now in the club. And the vibe of the club was so crazy that I liked the song. Now, I know if I would have heard that on my own, like just sitting in the studio, strictly hip hop, I would have been like, yo, what is this shit? Like, you using the break beat from fucking BDP's Part-Time Sucker, and you got Puff yelling, but hearing it in a club and seeing the reaction, it was just like, yeah. So hearing things in the club will fucking skew the way you see it. You know what I mean? So that's one of them joints. Well, what you got up for number 3? Because it's obviously not so anxious. Please don't bring up 100% Ginuwine.
Oh, it ain't over. No, they ain't got to
go. He said it ain't over, nigga.
I got Black on both sides, and I had trouble figuring out what I was expecting from him. Like, I felt the same way. Like, when I first heard it, like, it wasn't like I loved it off the break, and because it wasn't what I expected. But then I'm like, what did I expect? Because what I heard from him previously, I heard him on the Bush Babies joint. I heard like what he was so like different. Like, I don't even know what I was expecting. You know what I'm saying? But I know, like, when I first heard, I was like, but it really did. It really one of them albums that really did grow on me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was, man, it's crazy because Rawkus during that time, like, they really was like competing with you know what I'm saying, with the big labels, you know what I'm saying, and this album was good. It just, when I first heard it, kind of like, not to the extent of To Pimp a Butterfly, because I thought it was garbage when I first heard it, and then I liked it. I liked this one, but it grew on me over time, you know what I'm saying? So that's my pick.
I think for me, I was probably more expecting this. Like, when I popped this in, the boom bap of Sean J. Period with High Tech, like, that's what I was expecting. So when I throw it on and I hear the joint, what was it? The joint that Diamond did. Like, it's the first song on there. And I kind of like, yo, Diamond's just using this break beat and they're just using this David Axelrod sample. I felt like the production was kind of lazy to me. You know what I mean? So it really wasn't most. For me, it was like, this was so dope because it was like, for people watching who may not know, High Tech was, you know, Talib's person, and then Sean J. Perry was kind of Moses' person. So I thought it was dope that they was both bringing like their producer into the mix to kind of like co-produce it. And the Beat Miners got something on here, and I forgot the other boy who did Brown Skin Lady. But to me, that's what I was expecting. So when I popped that in, and I wasn't like hearing Respiration and hearing Redefinition and hearing that, I know that's what at first made me be like, you know, it's cool, but it's not what I expected.
You know why I didn't fully expect fully boom bap? Because I heard like he had sung Traveling Man on that DJ Honda joint. He had sung the hook on a love song by the Bush Babies, and I was just like, I knew it was going to be diverse. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know what I was expecting, like, as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't expecting total boom bap because I heard him do so many other things. You know what I'm saying? Before his solo album. So
all right, Vay, what you got up for number 3?
Number 3, I also had Eminem, the Slim Shady LP. that was the album I wouldn't have heard if I had started doing this thing when I was traveling back and forth from Morgan, especially on a bus where leaving New York, I would just pick up, a cassette of something that I wasn't looking forward to or went out and bought or had my eyes on just to check it out, like for my ride. Like, I just hope it's good. And I had read all about Eminem, I already knew about. I hadn't heard the Infinite joint, but I saw he was unsigned. I saw like all the things around him. I kind of heard him, and I kind of liked what I heard with Guilty Conscience before they had a video, because I was like, oh, that's dope. I like how he flipping Dr. Dre stuff and he's saying some racy stuff. Mm-hmm. The fact that Dre let him say it, I was like, this is different. And when I listened, I didn't know he was that nice with it. Like there was the shock value, there was the playful stuff. And that's kind of what I was there for, like entertainment. Cause like we always say, hip hop at one point was like fun. It wasn't so serious. So you can kind of do whatever. But with him, it was just like, nah, he could rap and like he could write songs. Like everything is clever. And I remember one of the songs that I really was like, this is dope. And it's kind of probably one of the, like there's some boom bap hip hop stuff on there, but the song Brain Damage, where he's like telling a story about himself as a kid, but how he's telling it. And it's like, it's funny, but some of the things he's saying wouldn't really be funny because it's like bullying and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this is a real clever song. Like, this is what I like about hip hop. This is what I liked about Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? Like storytelling in this way. But it was just, you could tell Eminem, like with the wordplay, was dope. So the album was dope. This was my introduction to Royce the 5'9", who I didn't know he was on there. I felt like I was like discovering something. You know how when you discover somebody new in hip hop and you like, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep my eyes on whatever they drop, because if his pen is like this, then who knows what they're gonna create. So for me, like honestly, if I didn't go in the little, record shop in the Port Authority and NY and just say, oh, well, let me get that Eminem, I probably would be checking it out now in the streaming era. Like, oh, okay, I see what cats are saying. So it definitely was one of the better albums for me.
I forgot about that record shop, Port Authority, bro.
Yeah, right. Like small joint kill. Yeah. Like they got perfume and shit in there.
Yeah.
But
and these were legit copies. These weren't bootlegs. These were real copies.
Yeah, real. Yeah.
Legit, straight up, and I still have some. Like I probably still got that Eminem joint, but yeah, it was a nice little stop in there. Like, oh, let me get. That's how I listened to One Day It All Makes Sense. Not
all right.
Yeah. Common joint.
That's
how I heard it, because I picked it up that way, and I was like, okay, yeah, I've been sleeping. This is incredible. So.
That's dope. Number 2, I got 2001 Dre. The Watcher, Still Dre. Next episode, I love the message. Shout out to Lord Finesse on that. Forgot about Dre, but my favorite is the Explosive. Like that, I could listen to Explosive on repeat forever. I think it's one of Corrupt's dopest verses. If it's my favorite Corrupt verse, I love Explosive. Yeah. That just never gets old to me at all. Like that's one of them. Just keep it on repeat for eternity, and I wouldn't get tired of that joint. My R&B joint, A Day in the Life by Eric Benet, man. That's such an incredible album to me.
Yes, it is.
Georgie Porgy, Spend My Life. When You Think of Me with Roy Ayers, R.I.P. to Roy Ayers. Love the Hurt Away, Love of My Own. Coming Far, just an incredible album. You know what I mean? I wasn't really, the first album was cool, but I remember hearing this album. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is a dope album. So those are my 2. P, what's your number 2 for this year?
A Prince Among Thieves by Prince Paul. I talk about this whenever I can, whenever Apartment 5B does anything to do with concept albums, storytelling, skits that are used correctly. Prince Paul is just, it's not filler. Like the skits are not filler on here. So this is like a perfect storytelling. It's so coherent. It's sequenced properly. The skits actually do what the skits are supposed to do. So they fill in gaps of the storyline. And the whole thing is just so coherent that there are no skips. Like you almost forget that it's a music album. Like it's kind of told so well. And this is just brilliant to me. It's brilliant work. 5 Mics Easy. I think Prince Paul is just phenomenal with the execution of this. The guest appearances are even great. He's got it really translates like a movie, and it is just so well done, and not many can do this. I think we kind of like skate over the fact that this was how well this was put together and how difficult it is, because then you've got albums like Capital Punishment where it's a good album, but it's so filled with filler and the skits are not really necessary. And then you've got like even Ready to Die has like intros and skits that aren't really necessary, and you're like, okay. And then when you listen to something like this Prince Paul joint, that's what it's supposed to be. And I don't think I think this can also go into a slept on joint. I know people love it. I'm not saying I'm the only one. I know it's a well-liked album, but I think it's not often mentioned. But when it is, people rave about it. So yeah, for me, this is hands down the number 2 album of the year.
All right. No doubt. JR, what you got?
Number 2 was Murder Music for me with MOBB Deep. It's important to me because this is actually me and my best friend B-Dub actually met off of getting this album for real. So we used to blast this like crazy. Definitely the original Quiet Storm for real. So we rock to that to this day. So anytime I pick them up from Jersey, we throw that on because you know what I'm saying, that song we just blast for real. So yeah, and then it was a lot of songs that didn't make it either because they got leaked. So it was a lot of stuff on there that I wish that would have made it. Like Thrill Me with Big Noy, Nobody Likes Me. Like some of these songs I wish would have made it, but this is everybody got hit when it was that Napster and everything got leaked. So yeah, but Murder Music, I still jam to that. I mean, some people be like they don't like it, but I do. Like Rel said, I'm here, I like it. So I'm good for it. And number 2 was Donell Jones, Where I Want to Be. That even though it's he talking shit and it's on some fuckboy shit, but that album is the shit. Like I don't care, like whatever. Like he talking his shit on there, like man, from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Like that album is just dope. So yeah, that was the album I rocked with. So
all right, no doubt. Kel, what you got up?
Like after JR, Murder Music, same thing for my number 2. Yeah, same. It's like I Am. A lot of songs really leaked. Power Raps is another song that was leaked off there, but obviously the realest G-Rap, the original Quiet Storm, of course. Even Lil C's got a dope verse on there.
He killed it. Yo, I tell that all the time. Like, he killed that verse. On Going Out, Lil C's killed that verse, bro. I don't care who. I don't know who wrote it. Whatever, he killed it.
Right. I don't know if he wrote it, but he killed that verse.
Yeah.
I have no comments there.
Oh.
I'm not. You guys are
like,
just on one today. All of you are on one. All of
bro,
you.
You gotta listen to that song, yo. He went off on that
did.
song.
Portia's heard it. Trust me, Portia's heard it.
One day, me and Kill are going to do an episode, and we're going to dive deep into this whole situation, but that's fine. So it's not going to be today.
All right, Murder Music. What you got R&B? What's your R&B joint?
I don't have any R&B joints.
All right, no doubt. Rel, what you got?
I got the Dr. Dre joint. Again, you know, I just remember, man, Explosive was crazy. And yo, it's corrupt. Like, what was he on this verse? Like, he was like, this man said, Captain save them all day. Bitch, well, say this dick. Bitch, nigga, you more of a bitch than a bitch. I said, God damn. Like, what was he on? Like, what was up with him on this verse, bro? Like, I remember him, he was wilding.
If I could ever do a show with MCs, that would be a segment of my show where it's just like, what the fuck was you on? Like, when you wrote this verse, who was you fucking? What was you smoking? What was going on in your brain to allow you, like, that would literally be a segment, and nobody bite that because that's a dope idea. And I know but yeah, it's like, really, what was you on? What were you on this day? Like, did you just break up with your girl? Did you, like, I need to know what was going on when you wrote that verse right there.
That verse was crazy. I mean, we kept, like, when I first heard the song, we got to the end of that verse and ran it back. Like, did you hear what this nigga just, like, but overall that album, and you know, with a Dre album, it's gonna sound amazing. You know what I'm saying? You play it in your car, play it wherever. It's gonna sound way better than everything else, which is just the magic of Dr. Dre. So that's my album for.
All right, what you got, babe, for number 2?
Number 2, I got MOBB Deep, Murder Music. I'm kind of baffled. I didn't know there was so many like Mob fans that really didn't like this album because I thought it was dope. I thought, like what was mentioned earlier, there was a variety. I think it was you, Rel, variety. Like it didn't stray so far away from MOBB Deep that it turned me off. You know what I'm saying? And the songs that were strong on there were like really strong. Like, again, the Quiet Storm original with Prodigy, the remix with Kim when she got busy. It's Mine with Nas, you know, Coogee Rap at that stage in his career, probably having the best verse on the album.
On the whole album, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, I couldn't believe what I was hearing when she started rapping. I'm like, God damn, like, I know Coogee Rap, but this is crazy what he's doing right now at this point in, you know, in his career. So I liked it, and I liked the fact that, again, it showed growth in MOBB Deep, like kind of like Gangstar, right? Like, you listening to early Premier beats, and that's by the time you get to Hard to Earn, you like, okay, Premier in the sweet spot now with the production. That's kind of how I felt with Havoc. And I always love how he flipped like mafia movies into beats like It's Mine, taking like Scarface, my favorite joint, and you know, even the way Straight Thugs on this side, like, yo, they was playing this in the club, man. Like, that was back then when it's like, if you can't fight, get off the dance floor, because it's when everybody start feeling like I dared somebody bump me type shit. But yeah, I like the album, and you know, every now and again I go back and listen to it. So,
all right, dope. For the number 1 album, we got, for me, The Roots Fall Apart. If y'all don't have it, go out and get the box set. Very, very dope box set with the vinyl. Nice little booklet that comes with the joint, breaking down the whole joint. Like, this to me is just like seeing Black Thought. Like, this is the Black Thought that I fucked with. This is before the freestyle when the nigga had locks. Like, some people don't even know this nigga used to have dreads. Malik B, the nigga who y'all love to forget never fucking existed. Like, that nigga right there. So, I mean, to me, like I said, this album to me was just like, it was like midnight to me. Like, the way I could only imagine how, well, I mean, shit, you ain't have to be from New York or be from Queens to love Midnight Marauders. But, Kelv, I'm sure you felt like a little feeling like, yo, I'm from Queens. These are the niggas from Queens with this Midnight Marauders. This is how I felt like with Things Fall Apart. I remember being at 889 and nobody even knew what the fuck Erica was saying. Like, we ain't know what the chorus was. Like, what is this shit talking about with the club and where you been, and then the jazz and whatever that is, drum and bass at the end. We was like, yo, what's that? We ain't know that was Eve on the joint. Like, it was just such a dope song. 100% Dundee, Vague Adrenaline, like just all them joints, Next Movement. Like, to me, that's where, like, when I'm like, yo, have y'all never heard 100% Dundee to even try to say Malik B wasn't right there going back and forth with Black Thought. Like, we not gonna sit here and act like we heard that and was like, yo, why this nigga in the group? Like, nobody ever questioned why is Malik B in the group. Like, that's what we not gonna do. You know what I mean? So I love that joint. And then for my R&B joint, my number one album is the Mary album. Love that joint. Love it, love it, love it. God, I mean, there's so much that I could say about that album. Hold on, I just lost my shit on this thing. The Mary joint, I mean, you talking about the Deep Inside, the I'm in Love, which was a Gap Band remake that I just love. I remember, and it's so funny with that joint. Like, it wasn't when I proposed to Tanya, but like maybe when it was like, yo, I want you to be my girl type thing. Like, I'm serious with you. Like, I'm gonna give you a key to the crib. We came back and I played that joint, like that I'm in Love joint. I mean, you got Your Child, that was crazy to me, and JR, you already know The Love I Never Had. Like, that joint, I love that joint. So I never understand why a lot of people don't talk about that Mary album, because I love it. You said she don't? She didn't?
No. Mary don't talk about the Mary album at all. It pisses me off with that, but whatever.
I can't call that, because that was a banger to me. P, what's your number one?
My number one album, 1999, is Internal Affairs by Pharoahe Monch.
Very dope album.
Pharoahe Monch, and Internal Affairs isn't my favorite Pharoahe Monch album. Desire is, but that Internal Affairs album is, to me, the best album of the year. Pharoahe Monch is a lyrical powerhouse. Like, he is just so good at being an MC that you just get kind of wrapped up in it. And what, even though, like Simon says, that's my favorite joint on the album, of course, but even what he's saying is kind of crude, and it's not dope to really, like, if you think about it, it's kind of like, what the hell is he saying? But he makes it sound good, and that's just what you kind of get from Monch all the time. Is just, he's just delivers so well, and this was just a very well put together album from beginning to end. 5 mics, no skips. Like, I just absolutely love it. Glad that it's all, you know, fixed with the sample clearances and everything sorted out with the you know, with the legal matters about it, because now it's kind of more readily available for everybody. So if people haven't kind of heard it, they should, because I mean, yeah, Monch is just a crazy MC. Like, he's so good at it. And this was definitely his debut, and yeah, the introduction to him for me. So yeah.
And the thing I think Monch doesn't get enough credit for is his album covers. Like, every album cover is just crazy. Like, this dude is never just gonna be outside the bodega. Like, this joint is bananas. So
like a whole reason behind everything he does. Like, it's not just random. Like, it plays into whatever he's, like, the overarching concept of the album. So yeah, and I think Monch has that's my favorite joint.
Right there, you got this joint with the gas mask, and then you got the last joint with that. Like, it's just this dude's covers are just always on some next.
And he's got a new album coming this year, I think. So External Affairs. So I just, oh my God, I was so upset about that 13 album because it just wasn't Monch rapping. And I remember we talked about it on the episode where we were saluting the year and talking about our top joints. And I was like, I can't believe Monch dropped a joint and it wasn't.
And even with that cover, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's
like,
hard.
Yeah. He's so good. So I can't wait to see what this album, I'm so excited about it. So yeah.
All right. JR, what's your number one?
Like I'm with Kev, the original I Am with Nas, where Papa was a player on it, Drunk by Myself, like those. So when this I Am came out, it was like, oh, like, okay, like, all right. But yeah, that's the one I played a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the one I got. And you know what? I did support and go out, because Hate Me Now, when I did hear it, I was like, all right, I can rock with it. You know what I mean? But that original one was just ill. Oh my God. But again, with the leaks, that's what happened. number one obviously would be Mary. The Mary album, of course. It was just like in the 90s, I think Mary had to always show how much of an artist she was, because everybody think every album was a fluke with her. You know what I mean? So it was like, what's the 411? Oh, she's using the hip hop break beats. Okay, now when she don't have that. Then she does My Life and does okay. Now she can't get with top notch producers. So then she does that with Share My World. Then they saying that she can't be, soulful anymore. So then she does the Mary album, which is amazing. Then they don't like that. So then she goes back to the hip hop soul joint with Family Affair and all that. But I'm like, it's like she had to prove every album. And I'm like, yo, this Mary album is like a masterpiece to me. Even though I love My Life and that's my favorite. But that Mary album, it just showed how much of an artist she was. Like you said, I'm in Love and Rich Harrison doing Beautiful Ones. And you know what I'm saying? Like the Love I Never Had with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like that was ill. And it was like Memories, and even the sexy joint with her and Jadakiss. Like it was just a complete body of work. And Mary's feelings is hurt because it didn't really sell like she wanted. So she don't really talk about it and she don't really do it. So it's like she acts like that album doesn't exist, and it really bothers me as a fan, because I'm like, Mary, do you not know this album is who you are now? Like you showed them you were an artist with this one. If you didn't do this one, you couldn't have did No More Drama, because No More Drama was actually done doing the Mary session. So like, come on, man. So yeah, this album I still run to this day. Like this album is hard. So the Mary album for me.
Okay. Yeah, have you ever seen the limited edition version?
Yes, because that got Almost Gone on it with Layla Hathaway.
Yeah, this is a dope joint right here. The limited edition.
Yes.
Joint. Why am I asking you, nigga? I'm sure you got it signed already. So, dumbass question.
And you know what's so funny? I actually Mark Chappelle had been on the show. He actually sent me the limited edition because I like had the songs obviously, but I didn't have it, and I got it. So it's actually in my car. So that joint is Almost Gone with her and Layla. I wish that would have made the original album for real. That song is nuts.
All right, Cal, what you got for number one, bro?
Like Porsche, I got Internal Affairs. Pretty much everything Porsche said. I mean, that's mine. Obviously, I love Organized, so I was already a big fan. Monster of the Solo joint. Simon Says comes out as dope. Got Queens, so he's just talking about, streets and stuff through Queens. It's just a dope album. I just love that. Got MOP, so it's diverse a little bit, I love that album. And I went to see the 25th anniversary show he did last year in Lincoln Center, which is amazing. He brought out he had MOP out there. He had Smith & Wesson doing joints out there. He had Talib out there. It was a dope show.
Hey, no doubt. Rel, what you got for number one?
I got Philly, Things Fall Apart. And this album kind of like stamped it for me with the roots, you know what I'm saying? Because Do You Want More, it was cool, you know what I mean? But Philadelphia was like 5 mics for me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's gonna follow this? You know what I mean? And this album stamped it for me. Because a lot of people that's not from Philly don't really know like how the roots was being received early on. Like I know a lot of people weren't really messing with them like that, you know what I'm saying? And I think when we heard like Clones, that's when niggas were like, hold on, okay, all right, this is, you know what I'm saying? And transitioning into this album, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of stamped it. And like Vegas said, that Beans verse was insane, bro. Like, and he rhymed the same the same genre for every bar was the same Iverson rhyming. Like it was the whole verse, like, and it was just like fluid, bro. Like that's when I say, yeah, he this is that boy right here. Like Beans is that dude, you know what I'm saying? he killed it. You know what I mean? So my number one, that's Things Fall Apart. I wanted to say something though about the I Am, the leaks and all that. That joint essentially affected 2 albums from him because.
Well, hold tight, because you got a whole segment about that.
It was gonna get there, yeah.
You got a whole segment on that I want to talk about with that joint. For the Things Fall Apart, I found this the other day going through my trunk. Rel, if you remember back in the day, the Philly City Paper,
yes,
and this
sir.
was them talking about recording it, and the whole piece about this was like, if Things Fall Apart didn't blow for them, it was gonna be a wrap for the Roots. Like. The label was probably going to shut them down. Geffen wasn't, because they went from Geffen to MCA. I want to say this was on MCA, if I'm not mistaken, or it may have been their last Geffen album. But just a real dope article that I found that I still had just about that. Vague, what's your number one?
Number one, I got Dr. Dre, The Chronic, 2001. I remember I was, I don't remember the reason why, but I remember I was a little resistant to listening to it. I kind of felt like it was way too late. Hip hop had changed for a sequel to The Chronic. You know, I was at a different space in my life from when The Chronic dropped, so it just felt like he's not going to capture anything like that, and it may just sour it. And I remember you were the one killed. This was at 88.9. Telling me like, nah, you gotta listen to this shit because it's crazy. And I listened and I heard Still Dre and I was like, oh shit, like this fucking beat is nuts. And then next episode, even the Devin the Dude joint, I Just Want to Fuck You. Yo, I already like Devin the Dude. Like, you want to talk about storytelling that gets slept on? That motherfucker stories be crazy, funny, interesting, all kinds of shit. Everything, his verse on that song, it just was an incredible album. Like you said, having like Corrupt and Snoop and all them back, and Eminem chipping in, where I was thinking like, okay, Eminem on Chronic, like, you know, what is that gonna sound like? Just a really dope album in general. Played it to death, still run some of that back now. So yeah, I was kind of happily surprised that it exceeded my expectations. So.
All right, no doubt. Now, who was the dopest MC of 1989? For me, I am going with
1999.
What did I say?
89.
I'm 51. Let me tell y'all something about 51. Am I the oldest person up here? Kel, how old are you?
I'm older than you, Kel. I'm older than you. I'm 51. But I turned 51 in February.
There's so many times I've reached for my cell phone and I'm like, why did I pick this thing up? There are so many times that I don't know what it is about the memory. So thank you, P. 1999. I'm going with Nasir Jones. We will talk more about the I Am bootleg and everything like that in a minute. Producer, I went with Dre and Mailman, who helped produce 2001. Here's something that I did want to ask. I was always under the assumption, because I didn't listen to the Slim Shady album for like years after it came out. I was always under the assumption that Dre produced that whole album, but he didn't.
Not the real Slim Shady, no.
Well, the Slim Shady joint. But I thought like this was always the big hoopla of we want Dre and Eminem back together. Like, I'm looking at the credits a couple of days ago and I'm like, who the Bass Brothers? Like, so why was it always this Dre and Eminem back? Like, it felt like we want Guru and Primo back and we want Pete and CL back. But I'm like, the fuck if they ain't even produce a whole album together?
I think it's probably because Dre's stamp is probably on the bigger records.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you know how that can kind of cover the whole thing. Somebody just says, oh,
okay,
right, he was with Dre, but to your point, it's like, well, it wasn't all Dre. You know what I'm saying? It was other people. And obviously, he's kind of overseeing it also. So we don't know what beats sound like beforehand. Kind of like you were telling me about like Q-Tip with havoc on Infamous. Like, well, I wonder if Q-Tip wasn't there, you know, do some of those beats hit in the same way, or are they kind of muted? You know what I'm saying, in comparison. So I think that's what it is. I think people take the songs that you know Dre did, and because they were probably hits, they just say like, yeah, I want that again. You know.
All right. Oh man, we'll go back and do this. Slept on MC for me. I'm giving it to Black Thought and Malik B, because people, again, because the internet, I've never seen somebody going from the most underrated rapper to the GOAT in 45 minutes. But literally pre-freestyle at fucking 6:58 that day, Black Thought was underrated, no features. Nobody even knows about Black Thought. To 40 minutes later, this nigga's the fucking GOAT. Like, it just went. I've never seen anything happen like that. So yes, at one time and point, Black Thought and Malik B was slept on. And my slept on producer, I'm going with Mad Lib from Loop Pack for that joint, which reminded me at 51, we didn't talk about slept on albums. My slept on albums, Sound Pieces, The Antidote by Loop Pack, Full Clip, Gangstar, the double a CD best greatest hits album, but because they put royalty on there, I mean, All for the Cash and Full Clip was on there, and I love All for the Cash, man. Babe, whenever we would do the fundraiser at the radio station, I was like, this the theme music. I'm starting every hour off with All for the Cash by Gangstar. I had a Prince Among Thieves, Prince Paul, and then I had Sound Bombing 2, Kel, for everything that you said. Eminem's Any Man, Over the Beat Miners. I wish we could have got more of that. I would have loved the Eminem album 1989, produced by the Beat Miners. That's an album hip hop owes me. Porsche, do you have any slept on albums for 1999?
Yep. Should I just name them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got Musical Massacre by the Beatnuts, which I thought was hilarious because you said most people have this on their slept on, and I was like, that's me, I do, because I don't hear too many people talk about it. Although, again, when it's mentioned, people are like, yeah, the Beatnuts are dope, and they are dope. Like, Watch Out Now is just, it's great. And then I've got Streets is a Mother by Corrupt, which I love. Again, Corrupt, Philly, but I consider him West Coast. I know there's that kind of that Tupac thing going on there. And then I have Uncontrolled Substance by the Rizza. I think that's a slept on joint. Pete Rock had a joint on there.
Deck.
I mean, sorry, Deck. Yeah, my bad. By Deck. And then Blackout by Meth and Red. Even though they may not be slept on because people love that album and they're kind of, that was their, album that made them the unofficial, official duo ever. And we want Blackout 2 through 20. So I get it, but to me, it's still kind of a slept on joint because maybe it's just me. I just don't go back to it as often as I should. So those are mine.
All right, JR, what's your slept on albums?
I just got R&B slept albums. I got Love and Stereo with Rashawn Patterson. I got Ghetto Hymns by David Hollister, Life's Aquarium by Mid Condition, A Day in the Life by Eric Benet, and I got Kaleidoscope with Khalees.
All right. Kel, what's your slept on joints?
Slept on albums, I got Prince Paul, Prince Among Thieves. I got going to Canada to watch Socrates, the ultimate mix.
Not bad. Yeah. Socrates is the only Canadian I'm not like cringing about. So yeah. What?
Donell, Chocolate. Well, you talk about. I know you're talking about. But.
No chocolate. Thank you. I'm good. Socrates. That's it.
No chocolate.
This fool said no chocolate. Okay.
I got Q-Tip Amplified. I got EPMD Out of Business, and I got the Austin. What'd you say? And I got.
No, I'll say that's good.
And I got about the Queens, and kind of via the roots, Rozelle.
Okay.
Music 2000.
Yeah. That joint. What was the joint that Pete did for him? What was the single?
All I Know.
All I Know. Yeah. All I Know, man. That's dope. Bro, what you got for slept on joints?
I got quite a few. I got Gangstar Full Clip. I got Tribe's Anthology, Sound Bombing 2, Rough Riders Volume 1, Funk Flex, Big Cap, The Tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, that was 99?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got Musical Massacre. I got I Am. I got Slick Rick, the Art of Storytelling. I got Khalees, Kaleidoscope, and Vinny Vetti Vici, Ja Rule.
I started putting that up too. Yeah.
Kel, this was a 12-inch for all I know. I'm gonna see if this joint still works. It used to beatbox when you opened it, but this it used to beatbox. Let me see if it still does it. Like you had to touch something on it for it to beatbox, but nah, it was a joint right up here. It's like a little sensor, and it would beatbox for you. But I guess this thing been dead. But yeah, this was a 12-inch for that. All I know joint. Yeah. Veg, what's your slept on joints?
All right, I was gonna say something about that. Strictly hip hop. Maybe we were supposed to do an interview. And a matter of fact, I think it was you who was like, because you would give us interviews, like, yo, we got Rozelle coming up, and I was like, I'm not interviewing no beatboxing ass nigga in 1999. But on the radio, I was championing that shit. Beatbox was always a part, and I meant it. But at the same time, I was like, I can't, as an Aries, I can't seriously ask this nigga questions about, so when you do the thing with your mouth, like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? You know, give me a drop for the show, you know, beatbox on that, and we good. All right, slipped on for me, Tupac and the Outlaws, Still I Rise. I got put onto that way later because I really was like, if it's Tupac and other niggas, I'm not listening. Like, y'all know how I feel about Hit 'Em Up. Like, I was hyped, but when it was to Get Out the Way, yo, I was like, why you have them on here, Pac? Like, I don't want to hear from them. But this is actually a really dope album. And it was an album that was supposed to come out. But, you know, there was things that happened, and obviously it released after he passed. Nas I Am, not the bootleg, because I didn't think we was including the bootleg. I say the original because even though having the bootleg, I didn't want to hear some of these other songs, but New York State of Mind 2, Hate Me Now, Undying Love.
Undying,
There's some all-time Nas joints on there. You know what I'm saying? Nas is on there. Obviously, some stuff from the bootleg is on there. There's more good on that album than I thought. You know, listening to it more now than back then, there's still some stuff I skip because some of the beats are just terrible. But there's some joints on there. MF Doom, Operation Doomsday. I was sleeping back then. Now I kind of love it. It's almost like my favorite Doom joint because of the beats and the productions, and it just was. At the time, I guess I was antagonizing strictly hip hop fans. I ain't gonna front. Because when them niggas would call up, nah, you ain't playing Cypher, nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. We playing what we want. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? But there was a couple times I pressed play and I was like, I think I could see why they like him, you know, because he's not, it's kind of like we say with Camp Low, like at a time they dropped, they wasn't doing nothing that was going on that was trendy that you had to do. Labels were forcing people and they still did something in their own pocket. Corrupt, The Streets is a Mother, I think is very slept on. I think it's because we had, at one point, we waited so long for a Corrupt solo that we wasn't really checking for his solos by the time we got him. This is definitely one of the better ones. And Slick Rick, The Art of Storytelling, man. Like, I slept on it too, because it was like, yo, it's too late. Like, you've been locked up, fam. It's too late. And when I went listen, I was like, what was I thinking? This album's great. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. The album's good, yo. That album got some good stuff on it.
All right. P, Dopest MC and Dopest Producer.
I got Pharoahe Monch as the Dopest MC, and I've got Prince Paul as the Dopest Producer.
All right. Any slept on MCs or slept on producers?
I don't have a slept on producer, but my slept on MC is Prince Paul for Prince Amongst Thieves. And again, I think it's a slept on album altogether as well. So,
all right, JR, you got any? Who's your singer of the year or producer of the year?
Well, my producer, it's two. I have to say Timbaland and Rodney. Like, they were killing it. Like, it was just them two, for real. If you didn't have a Rodney joint, you had a Timbaland joint. And Timbaland was kind of going more to the in hip hop too. Rodney wasn't, but as far as R&B, them two was there. As far as singers, I'm probably gonna have to give it to Mary. I give it to her. I give it to Mary.
And that was my same thing, Mary, and then Rodney on the beats for R&B. Kel, what about you?
That's MC. For me, the same thing as Nas. Producer, I got. Now you're saying it's Melman doing the beat, so I can't say it's just Dre. I was going to say Dre.
Well, I said Dre. Like, for me, I said Dre and Melman, just to give, I'm sure Dre did something.
Right. Slept on. I'm a go against Portia. I got Pharoahe as my slept on MC. I just think people still sleep on him. So no matter how dope he is. And for producer, I got Eric Sermon. I love the Out of Business Symphony style. That beat is just hard.
Yeah.
And that album, I think I dope on that album as well.
I think I tapped out around that time. I was like, okay, y'all have run this business shit to the ground. Like, okay, that shit was cute. The
breakup also hurt too, right? I mean, that too.
Yeah, so. and the breakup also hurt, but it was just like, all right, y'all, we can stop with James and we can stop with this business shit. Like, it's run its course. You know what I mean? Like, we good on that shit. Rel, what you got? Who's your MC of the year and producer of the year?
I got a tie for MC. Same as like 96. I got Nas and Prodigy. And producer, I got Havoc. And slept on MC, I have Malik B from the Roots.
Dope. Any slept on producers?
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that one.
Hey, you can always pull out the beat nuts because,
Yeah, I go to beat nuts because, always slept on, in my opinion. So, yeah, I go to beat nuts.
And Veg, what about you?
Best MC, even though I didn't pick an album, Jay-Z. Because I'm not counting the bootleg Nas, because it's clearly Nas if that shit comes out. But I'm counting Jay-Z because I think Jay-Z at the time, it wasn't just that S. Carter album, it was features, it was mixtapes, it was Jay-Z was like in his prime at this time. And he wrote the Still Dre verses for Snoop and Dre. Which, because what made me like that song more than just the beat, I like what Dre was saying on it. And I was like, oh yeah, Dre, but I was like, Jay wrote that? Like, I knew he had ghostwriters, but I didn't know it was Jay-Z. And producer Dr. Dre. He did some of Eminem significant stuff. He did some other things, and obviously the Chronic 2001. Slept on MC. I went with MF Doom because I know I was sleeping, and I get why people like it, and I kind of give them more points for just being different with, because that's hip hop in general, different style, different way of approaching things. I'm like you, Kill. I'm like, is he reading ingredients off a box? This, like, but as a hip hop head, I gotta give him a lot of props for just saying, I'm gonna go with this. And he built the fan base, off of it. Slept on producer, I'm gonna go with Manny Fresh. Okay. Like, Hot Boys was out, like this was no limit territory around this time. It started in 98. Yeah, it started in 98, and that production was distinctive. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne, BG had an album, I believe, around that time. I think that's Bling Bling was on that album. But yeah, I think in a lot of ways for what Manny Fresh did at that time, that not only had beats for them, but had people like Jay-Z hopping on joints and stuff like that. I think he's kind of slept on for what he brought to the game. So.
All right. No doubt. Now let's start talking about the vibe and what was the theme of 97. Now 99, Jesus Christ, not 97, 1997.
Every year. Like.
I said every year, but the right year. All right. I felt like this was the beginning of subpar Wu-Tang follow-up albums. We had
Immobility.
And this is all post Rizza. We got Deck's Uncontrollable Substances, which I thought was a good album. but it wasn't the debut Inspectah Deck album you wanted.
It wasn't Flood. It's a Flood album, right?
Right. You didn't get the Flood album. You got Old Dirties, Nigga Please.
Hey,
you got
that album is hilarious.
It's hilarious, but it's not good.
It's not good.
You got Jizzes Beneath the Surface.
Yeah, Beneath the Surface. Yeah.
You got Ray's Mobilarity. And then you got You God's Golden Arms Redemption.
Max Case.
So it just felt like this is. I remember the disappointment of it being like, yo, how do you follow up Liquid Swords with this? How do you follow up the Purple Tape with this? How do you follow up Return to the 36 with this? And how is this Deck and You God's debut albums that we waited so long for? So I felt like this is like when we started to see the chinks in the armor. And I love the fact that we love Wu-Tang. I love the fact, but I'm always just a straight shooter too. And it's like, I just think we all like to forget that there's a whole bunch of duds when it starts coming to the Wu solo shit. Like Ghost is literally like, Ghost is really like the only dude who's like bulletproof to all this bullshit that was going on right about that. What do y'all think about that? The Wu thing. I mean, did Rizza kind of prove his value to the clan? Because to me, this is a perfect example of you say you made Hov, we'll make another Hov. So like y'all say y'all don't need me, cool, nigga. Go do it yourself. And nigga, we saw what happened when they went and did it themselves. What you gonna say, Veg?
I was gonna say the show did a good job of showing that, right? Like saying they agreed upon a certain time and Rizza would work on it and he was working on everybody's stuff. And at the time, as they weren't even reaching a finish line with Wu-Tang Forever, and you know, Ray's kind of feeling like, yo, I got the fucking Ice Cube. What the fuck was the name of them niggas? The Ice niggas, whatever. Like,
oh, everybody started getting their own clique. Ghost had the Ice Unit and the
American Cream Team,
American Cream Team, right? Like, I got them, and you know, such and such does production, and it just showed that once Rizza stepped away and was terrible about it, he don't ever want to go back to that style of production. That's why we'll just never get a Wu album in the way we want. But you're right. You saw as soon as he left them to their own vices, okay, ODB, you could see you could be a bigger star, go over and do that, and that was terrible. Beneath the Surface is better now than back then.
I agree.
So I listened to it recently, and I'm like, it's fine, you know, but it wasn't Liquid Swords, right? It just wasn't the same without that kind of production. So, yeah, I agree.
Right.
It just showed you needed somebody to kind of organize them. Like if you leave them on their own, they just go, you know, because there's no way a Mobilarity should have came out like that. Like it's like, what was that?
How did you pick those beats? Like, that's the thing. Like, you just came from making this.
Was freaking Sneakers.
Sneakers.
Yeah. Yo, on the low, truth be told, I've said this before, that Pete was the only nigga who kind of held these niggas down, because Trouble Man on Deck's Uncontrollable Substances is my favorite song on that. Sneakers is my favorite joint on that. I forgot what Pete did for Ghost, I think on his third album, but truth be told, yeah, that's it. Is that Sneakers joint. But this is what I mean. Like, nigga, you part of Purple Tape, my nigga. Did these beats did that shit sound anything like that? Like, and then like you said, Vega, on the show, it's like, yo, why you not sampling? Why you playing all that shit sound better than this? Like, what the fuck? Like, Triumph sound better, you know, the shit y'all rhyming on. So it's like, that's the part that I don't get. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that Deck gets a little bit too much critique, only because I think Uncontrolled Substance was his debut, and then everyone's kind of still expecting Liquid Swords, only built for Cuban links, that level of a debut, and then unfortunately Deck has to deal with this flood situation, Aquaman, and then and then like, you know, so I feel like, yes, I can't give a pass to any of the other guys. But Deck kind of, I think we need to throw him a little bit of a goalpost move there on purpose, because I don't think it's not his fault. Like, he was in good shape lyrically. It's the beats that suffered, and I think that now it's kind of reflective of Deck, and I think it's misplaced. We saw what Raekwon could do on Only Built for Cuban Links. Then he comes out with Immobilarity. That, yes, by all means, let's critique the shit out of it. But Deck didn't have the same grace with Rizza's, you know, original beats that were meant for him that the rest of the clan members did. You God is just another story altogether. But for Deck, I gotta like kind of defend Deck there a little bit, because I can't group him into this whatever we're talking about here, where it was like a letdown.
Yeah,
you
so
labels have something to do with it?
Oh, my fault. I think Deck, I agree with you. I think Deck had an unfortunate solo career, and I'm gonna go even further, like him getting taken off of the Tupac song. My mind made up, like his verse was, out of all people, his verse got scrapped. And then when I heard the verse, I said, what the fuck was Tupac thinking? Mm-hmm. Like, he killed, you know what I'm saying? And then the stuff with his album, like for somebody that was like so skilled and that was setting off all those songs so crazy, the fact that he really didn't get the proper production for an album was unfortunate. So I can agree with that. As far as like you say, You God is a whole nother thing. My man says, this is the funniest You God line. I every time he gets brought up, I gotta say it. My man said, I don't know what this meant. He said, super freak physique like Raphael Sadiq, and on It's Yours. And I'm like it sounded cool when he said it, but I'm just like,
JR's face is killing me right now.
Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that?
Here's the thing. The thing I want to say about that, because I feel you, Porsche. I think my only pushback is, nigga, this is 19. Let's say it's 99. If it's recorded in 98, do you know how many amazing producers are out there? Like, that's my problem. Like, you are Inspectah Deck. You just got finished doing what's the joint off of Gangstar's joint?
Above the Cloud.
Yeah, but Above the Cloud. Who wouldn't want to work with Deck? Like, who wouldn't want to work? So you literally have
rock album.
He should have.
Like, I literally feel like this dude. You know what this dude is? He's a white man with great credit going to get a fucking mortgage. Like, you are that guy. You have everybody's phone number. You could call a Primo. You could call a Pete Rock. I get it, Rizza. The flood messed up your album twice or however many times. But at the end of the day, dog, like, we just named all these amazing albums, and Rizza didn't produce anything on any of these albums. You know, so
but Dad kept it in the Wu family, and he did have Rock on that joint. He had one.
He had one.
Right.
Did loyalty hurt him with this? Like,
well, that's what I was about to ask. I haven't looked at the album in years. So you're saying that Wu conglomerates produced Uncontrollable Substances?
Yeah, Mathematics is on there. True Master. You've got like Fourth Disciple. Like, you've got Yeah.
Well, I mean, then maybe maybe this is where loyalty hurt. Maybe this is where loyalty hurts you. Then
maybe, yeah.
This may be because and here's the great part, P. You can say, "Nigga, I'm not feeling that shit." Come back with something else.
Yeah, but you're yes, I agree with you, but at the same time, you're thinking he's already had his debut pushed back because of the flood. He wants an album out. He thinks he's got the skill set to have a very dope album, which he does. But I think that, yes, you're right. The production beat choices were a miss overall, but like, let's just, I don't know. I mean, I kind of, my heart goes out to Deck because I'm imagining at that time, he's like, well, man, like I got screwed over with the flood, so I don't get Rizza beats like all of you guys did. Now I got, because whatever's happening with Rizza, and Lord knows how many other floods ensued. So he's like, okay, I can't do that. I got to find somebody else. I need to keep the Wu sound. So let me go with these guys. I want to get my album out. Everybody else has their album out. Like, I kind of understand that, you know. I mean, I can't.
I feel his pain. And maybe, like Kel said, it's the loyalty. And there's a lot of times that I think people would love to go back in time and change some things. Like I think with Quick, when we did the look at your resume, Quick may want to go back and say, you know what? To get my name up there with Dre, I needed to do more outside stuff. So I'm sure a lot of people would like to go back and kind of say, you know what? Yeah, I should have got some better beats. So I will give him the pass of it being you didn't even get that, and that maybe the label was pushing for him to put it out there. But here's the great thing. It kind of goes back to Meth. Meth's had 9 albums. Like we talk about Tikal in a way like, oh, the flood fucked it up. Well, guess what? You can bounce back with the second album. It's like the kid who keeps fucking failing. Like maybe you're just fucking dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like you failed 7th grade. Okay, try again in 8th grade. Okay, shit, you failed 8th grade. Let's try again in 9th. After a while, the nigga just ain't smart. Like it just is what it is. So to me, the flood is fucked up. But like with Meth, it's like he could have bounced back with the second album, you know, but Meth has just never made that classic. So I do feel for Deck. I truly do.
Vegas has something to say about this topic.
What you gonna say, Vegas?
No, I was gonna say I agree with Porsche in the sense that he missed the wave, you know, and it wasn't his fault. And you know, this is his debut coming at a time where the Wu is on a decline. But it's just real, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what happened. And unfortunately, even with somebody like Mathematics who production, I think I like more now because it keeps the Wu sound a little bit more now than back then, where you could tell it was like they were kind of getting their feet wet, and some of it, you know, it was like Nori said. Like I know for me, if it wasn't the crew, the rest of them niggas was flunkies. You know, like Nori said, like who did it? I don't care. Like I want Rizza, but Rizza was done, and it's unfortunate, like you said, Kill for Deck, who obviously lyrically was still there. Like what he did on Above the Clouds was like, and the Pete Rock joint. But that could also play into budget, right? Like maybe I have no choice but to go with the homies because it fits within the budget. And Pete Rock costs a lot, and Premier costs a lot, so it could have been a bunch of stuff.
What are you gonna say, Cal?
I was gonna say I kind of agree with you, Kill, though too. You got Ghost killing it. Ghost is killing it on album after album. Iron Man, Supreme Clientele. I mean, I don't think there's any excuses. You know, you can
and like Vegas said, the budget is a good point. But even with Go, like you said, Supreme Clientele ain't all Rizza. You know what I mean? It's like, and it may just be maybe that can't pick beats. Like again, that is an additional skill. Like Ghost knows how to pick beats. What do people always say? If Nas had Rick Ross beats, like if you could pick beats like Game, like certain MCs just know how to pick great beats. You know what I mean? So maybe that's it too. So it was that. I had a lot of disappointing albums this year. J. Rule's Hero for High. I remember hearing that album.
No Primo.
Yeah, no Primo. And it was just like, again, I need a 30 for 30 on that. Like, what the fuck happened to the Gangstar Foundation? Like, what happened? So I need that. Keith Murray's It's a Beautiful Thing. No, the fuck it wasn't, Keith. It wasn't a beautiful thing. Lords of the Underground Resurrection. Nigga, I felt like Nas, like KRS already had the album called Blueprint. Like, nigga, Common already had the album called Resurrection. Now y'all got Resurrection. Sporty Thieves, Street Cinema. I was so hyped for this album, not because of the dumbass pigeon songs, but just because Ski Beats at that time was one of my favorite producers. And I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck what these niggas sound like rapping. These beats gonna be crazy. They weren't. The Empire Strikes Back, OGC. what the fuck? This is what happens when people leave the beat miners.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Same thing with the Wu. Tash's Rap Life. I had been sitting around waiting for this Tash solo album from the Alcoholics. It was me and my man Jace. Jace, and Sam went down to the old BT soundstage in Laurel. And was it Laurel? Now it's over there by like where the Boulevard is now. Whatever that is, Upper Marlboro, wherever that is, over by Jasper's. I want to say Jasper's. Yeah, Largo, right. Largo. The record release party, that album was not good. Rakim's True Master, Goody Mob's World Party, DMX, and then there was X. It was a lot of disappointment.
Noriega's Melvin Flint, the Hustler album.
I didn't even realize that was 99.
I can't even.
That was 99.
The only thing I like about that album is the Animal Thug skit. The Animal Thug is my favorite skit in hip hop of all time, without question. Like without question, anytime Animal Thug's there, I'm there. Like I loved it. That's I can't believe there's an album in the world of hip hop that I only listen to the skit on. Like, when does that happen? That's Melvin Flint. Like, I just listen to it for the skit.
And the last one, Tips Amplified. I mean, I like it a little bit more now, but it damn sure was when I heard Vibrant Thing, I was like, this is not what I was expecting to hear from Q-Tip. When the only thing that's on that album that I expected was Let's Ride. That shit nice. That shit to this day, the way Dilla sets it off with them drums, that shit is crazy. Any of those disappointed? Were there any albums that disappointed y'all that year?
Yeah,
Q-Tip for sure.
Q-Tip for sure.
But that Vibrant thing in the club.
I mean, yeah. It hit different in the club.
Yeah.
That beat, oh my god! I was just like, I like this. You know. What I'm saying?
Yeah,
breathe and stop was just stupid shit to me. Like, what do you mean, nigga? Why would I breathe and stop? Shut up, nigga. What are you talking about? I will not be participating in your exercise.
Oh god. JR, what about you? Any disappointing R&B albums that year?
Yeah, Blackstreet's Finally. That album sucks. I didn't like Get It On Tonight.
Jordan?
I didn't like the album. I didn't like it.
I never heard that album. Love the single. Love the single.
Yeah.
And was that joint that I love on there? We gonna play your CDs. That was on there.
That's on there.
Okay.
That's the one that's the only song that I like on there, and that's it.
Okay.
Right. Who else was on there? Actually, to be honest with you, you like the 702 joint. I thought it was kind of disappointing to me.
Okay.
That 702 record, because I love Star. I love that album.
Okay.
That album is, but
that's the album that came after 70 after this.
Yeah,
right?
That's the one. And then I think the last one, it sucks that I have to say this, the Hot Cocoa record for Coco in '99. I was denied.
That's gotta be bad.
Like,
that's gotta be bad.
Yeah, it was the fact that it was just like, no. I was like, no, Coco, I love you, but you're not a solo artist, baby girl. Like, I love you, but no. Because a lot of these songs, it sounded very SWV-ish. So it was like, I'm like, no.
So why do you think certain people can go solo? Like Ralph, it didn't amount to anything. You know, it's not always just, not. No, I'm JR. I like the album. I like the Ralph album, but he had the worst solo career out of all of them. So most people are going to say you're the lead singer. That literally equals you having a great solo career.
That's not true. I think a lot of people can be a lead singer of a group, but you are not good solo. It's like you're the lead, but you need something behind you. You know what I mean? Like you need some, like Ralph needed everybody behind him and the focus is on him. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. And then Ralph, we talked about that on the Johnny show, but anyway. And then I feel like Coco, again, the character was Lily and Taj. She has that. She got the voice, but no character. Those two gave her the character. So you looking on stage and it's like she barely moves and she just sings. You know what I mean? So it was like you're missing something. So it's like you can be the lead of a group, but being solo-wise, sometimes you just don't have it. And she didn't have it, unfortunately. So
I feel that. Yeah. This Nas joint, the infamous I Am bootleg versus the retake.
Yes.
If the original I Am drops, does Nas have 3 classic albums in a row?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, Fetus, Papa Was a Player, Drunk by Myself, Blazer 50. You gotta love it.
I love
it. You throw those joints on there, and I mean, it's like it. But this is also around the time where music really started getting leaked a lot. And that shifted things, because y'all brought up, y'all segue was perfect from MOBB Deep to this Nas. Kelv, was it a Queens thing? Was it a Clue thing? Like, where was all these leaks coming from? Because
Clue and Envy.
Think about that. I mean, Murder Music is a dope album, but if it doesn't get leaked, it's even a doper album. So now you're looking at MOBB Deep kind of in a different light with the infamous Hell on Earth in this joint. You looking at Nas with Omatic, it was written, and I Am. It kind of changes the trajectory of a lot. Jay can't say that's one hot album every 10-year average. Like, you can't say that line. It doesn't exist. So it kind of shifts everything. Vague, what do you think? You think if I Am drops the way it was supposed to, that's 3 classics for Nas?
Absolutely. I think, and one of the best double albums ever in hip hop. Better than the one he dropped. Because of all the songs you mentioned, like Blazer 50 and Nas is like Fetus alone as the intro.
Right.
Like, who's making something like that? Like, you're describing growing in your mother's womb. Like, that's a crazy concept. Like, just to open an album and then, like you said, all those different songs. Even though I didn't really like Drunk by Myself, I don't know. Maybe niggas was driving drunk and they could relate. I just was like, this shit's stupid. Turn it off.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, he just had so many joints though where it didn't matter what you didn't like. Project Window, you know what I'm saying? With Ron Isley, like. There wasn't really, even though I made a joke about Drunk by Myself, there's nothing whack on there. Like, when you listen to what the I Am the biography was supposed to be, it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I think it easily would have been a classic. I like the idea of there being a documentary, like he mentioned. Nipsey was kind of thinking about making. But I got the vinyl, I got the original bootleg. I did a whole episode on my show about that bootleg and reviewing it and all of that. I just think it's a crazy story, but I think considering where Nas is today as a result of, especially what he did with Hit Boy, just kind of redeemed itself anyway, and that just adds on to the legend. So
yeah,
right. Anything else from 99 stand out for y'all?
I just think about what you said, the bootleg. I think about the start of bootleg, or now that you said it, it is a Queens thing. Clue, Envy, Who Kid were like notorious, and people pull them out for them. And obviously try to kidnap them. So
somebody was trying to kill Envy. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was trying to kill him. I feel the same with Kel, like the bootlegging, because. Like I was saying earlier, like, it essentially affected 2 albums for Nas that he had to wear on his jacket that people didn't really fuck with, was Nostradamus and then I Am, you know what I'm saying? And that I'm glad, as a Nas fan, I'm glad he was able to recover. But yeah, because the I Am that came out reminds me of how I feel about Jay-Z's Volume 1. Incredibly high highs and then low lows on the album. You know what I'm saying? Because I Am has some high highs, like New York State of Mind, Small World, Undying Love, freaking Nas is like it has, and then it has Dr. Knock Boots. So it's like,
which was on the leak. Which was one of
the league. It was.
Oh, it is on. Yeah, that's true. It is on Elite. But and he had the song with Aaliyah, which
You
was,
Won't See Me Tonight. That was terrible.
Yeah, which was it just But he had some highs. Like some of his best songs ever are on. Nas is revered by everyone. That's on that album. You know what I'm saying? New York State of Mind Part 2 is on that album. Undying Love, one of the best stories, is on that album. And then you know, so it just was weird. And then like he had to come with Nostradamus, which people, you know, trashed too. You know what I'm saying? It got a couple of good songs on that joint, but you can just see the effect of it. And then with the MOBB, the same thing happened, and some of those songs wound up on other stuff, like Power Rap wound up on was it QB's Finest or QB's Finest? They wound up on QB's Finest or 41st Side. One of those compilations they wound up on. The other one wound up on the Violator album. Like those songs just wound up different places. But if they could have, you know, who knows? So,
Vay, what are you about to say?
I was just going to, two things, because thinking about like Nostradamus, that was, I kind of told this story before when you did the interview with me, but that was around the time I was like seriously thinking about going that route with rap. And I was talking to Nas, and you know how difficult it is to talk to him knowing Nostradamus is garbage to you. At the time where I'm like, I think I'm getting in at the wrong time. I don't know. Let me finish school. But you know, it just made me think of that moment in time, because I rest in peace to my man B Ice, because he knew, you know, I knew Nas. I remember he was the only one I knew that liked it. And he was like, "Yo, what you think?" And I was like, shit. If you looking for any biases, I don't have any. That shit is garbage to me. But the other thing I was going to say, since you brought the question about any other things in '99, what stands out to me the most is what Swiss Beats did with the Casio, and how all of hip hop music kind of became don't sample and, you know, make your own sounds. In some cases it worked, and in a lot of ways you go back and listen, and it's like, yo, it's a terrible era in hip hop. These beats. Exhibit A, Nature's album. You listen to Nature's albums, like, man, he could have benefited from the sample era big time.
Was that Natural High that Ski did on that Nature album?
Yeah.
That was the only song I liked on that.
That was it. His album, and when you listen, you know this, Kill. You listen to Nature's album, you listen to Source Money's album. They would have been way different albums at a different time, where it was like, yo, go get the samples, blah blah blah. Instead, they just sound weird now. Shit, they sound weird back then.
It's crazy you say that, because I remember Roots was like, yo, we ain't sampling no more, sell all your records and da-da-da. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm good. Y'all stay with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good, nigga. And then what happened in 2000? What was it, 2001 with the Blueprint? Now Jay's like, okay, we sampling again, everybody.
Right.
And everybody went right back to it. It's amazing how Jay-Z, the power this nigga has. Like, this nigga could just be like, yeah, nah, I'm back with soul samples. Eat a dick.
Right.
Like, we're back. Like, we're back. We're right back at it. And everybody's like, oh, time to get back to this chipmunk sound. And everybody was speeding up every soul sample that they could find and get their hands on. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. Now, let me ask you this. Speaking of Nas released yesterday that Master Pill has this new legendary album run that's coming up. You got Nas and Primo, Ghostface, MOBB Deep, Ray, Dayline, Big L. Want to know what y'all think. I'm not excited the fuck at all. I hope I'm 100% wrong. Y'all know me. I want to be wrong. I want hip hop to live. Nas and Primo, y'all know how I feel about that. Ghostface, I swear to God, didn't Master Pill just drop a Ghostface album like last year? Like that nobody gave a fuck about. The MOBB Deep, I'm like, Prodigy is dead, y'all. What the fuck are we doing? You know, we're still doing these posthumous albums. Like, I thought we were done with that shit. Being in the studio with Alchemist does not make me any better, because now it's just going to sound like a Boldy James album. The Ray joint, when's the last Raekwon album that was dope? Not that was cool, but like that was like, yo, this is my shit. I run this back. I can't wait to hear I gotta play that again. Dave is fucking dead, y'all. Like, what are we? I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. Is this the Primo Pete Rock Daylight album that was supposed to drop 5 years ago? Are we just unearthing old Dave verses? And again, Big L's fucking dead. Like, I feel like this is the whole dead rapper tour right now. So I'm sure I'm the only one disappointed. Vague, how do you feel about this? Are you excited? Are you hyped? What are your expectations of these albums?
Don't forget the worst not reveal ever, that we already know they're talking about Slick Rick as the other guy who's the
that's what I didn't even know. Okay.
Because everybody already figured that out. They figured out the whole fucking list. I am cautiously optimistic, right? So like MOBB Deep I have to see, because have still got beats, but I know people hate it, but I'm hoping like this album is about to fuck up the rotation, because if you got some Prodigy verses, and who knows, they were touring, they could have been working on stuff. It probably might be some song. It might be a Fife thing. You know what I'm saying? Where there's stuff that's there, they just got to rework it. I just hope it's not a guest verse-a-thon, because then that's whack. Raekwon, actually, his last album's dope. It was just slept on. Like, if that shit don't say only built for Cuban links, niggas don't listen.
And what was the last album?
I gotta get the name. It's the one where it's like a drawing of him or something like that on it.
Okay.
But yeah, because I feel like me and Rec was the only one like, yo, this joint is alright. But most people didn't check it out. And he teased during the lockdown Cuban Link 3. So I thought that was next, but he keeps saying on his IG the Emperor's Clothes or some shit like that, and I'm like, come on, dog. Like, what are we about to hear?
The nigga with the tiger with the crown, is that the Emperor's Clothes?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
I just remember a tiger with a crown on with a robe, and it was like the Emperor's robe or some shit, like from when I was a kid. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like the only way people, great point. The only way you're going to get people interested if it's Cuban Links 3. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you need that name because you fucked around so much. Yeah. And I think Ray has had a good discography. Good. 3 mic, good. Maybe 3.5. Yeah. But when you drop fucking the Purple tape, that's all we expected from you ever since. I feel like it's like that athlete who like has that great season. It's like, yeah, you can average fucking 12 and 8, but nigga, we're expecting 32, 8, 32, 10, and 11. So it's like you had a respectable career, but it's not. Derek Coleman had a respectable career, but nigga, he was supposed to
so it's been the whole thing.
The whole power forward. Yeah, like Kenny Anderson, you had a respectable career, but nigga, you were supposed to be the fucking next coming of the point guard. So I feel like that's Ray. Like, bro, you've had a respectable career, but my nigga, come on, you were supposed to be the one. Like, you were supposed to be Ghost. Like, really, to be honest with you, like,
right.
That's what you were supposed to be, and you don't have that. So,
and what was
the thing about the Daylight?
The Daylight, I don't know. I don't have a lot of info on that, so that might be some other stuff, which I'm not really looking forward to it. And I guess the Slick Rick, I'm curious because he hasn't had an album in a while, and honestly, when you start to line up Slick Rick albums, he only got one that's not good. That's Behind Bars, and he wasn't here for it.
Right.
There was one more, right? Oh, Big L.
Yeah.
For the sake of social media, I wish it wasn't even on the list because you already know what's about.
What's going to happen? Yeah. It's
already classic. He's already better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I do trust I'm trusting right now the fact that because the statement they made about it made me think, well, we don't know what Big L was doing between the times when he didn't have a deal. Like, maybe there's so much more, especially like vocals, that they can just repurpose because everybody likes the big picture, and that was clearly piecemeal type joint. So I'm curious, and then like the Nas and the Premier. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I hear that song they put out announcing it, I hate it more and more because I'm like, that beat is just so predictable, and I it's not bad, but it's nothing. Nas rapping, but I don't know. I think we might be surprised when we hear the Nas Premier.
And like I said, man, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we can look back at this a year from now and everybody can laugh at me like y'all do with Myron. Like, yeah, nigga, we told you shit was going to be a great year, nigga. I want that to happen. I want it to happen. I'd much rather be laughed at than be right. And all 7 of these albums are just a fucking fumble. Bro, Kelv, are y'all hyped? Porsche, are you hyped for these albums?
I don't know how to answer that. Not really. I don't want to be hyped because I'm scared I'm going to be so disappointed.
Yeah,
listen, I was so hyped for Jadakiss's top 5 Dead or Alive. That he owes me mics on that album. I was so excited for Pharoahe Monch's 13 album because I had no idea what it was going to be. Like, no. Every time I get super excited, I'm just super let down. So I just don't even want to go there. I'm just going to see how it is and then decide at the time if I'm going to, do it.
Because I'm still sitting here. Mass Appeal just did a Ghost album that nobody gave a fuck about. So what is this a do-over? Is this a Men in Black moment? Like, nigga, y'all forgot? And like, how are we going to get it right this time that y'all fuckers didn't get it right a year ago? Like, whatever. Yo, you excited? I know you're excited because a lot of queens in here. So
exactly, it gotta be. I'm excited for the Nas Premier only because I think Premier is gonna be inspired by Pete Rock and Common. So maybe that's my hope. Maybe that's my belief. Big L, not sure. I don't know what these verses are coming from. I'm getting like Vegas said with the maybe some stuff that's been sitting. The De La joint though, I'm thinking it's got to be the Pete and Primo joint that they was working on before he passed away.
Right now, if it comes out that it's that,
yeah,
I'm excited because that album was probably done 12, 14 years ago.
I think so. Yeah, and I know they've had funding issues and stuff like that. I'm sure. I know rumor has that Nas and Jay took care of their publishing and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a lot of rumors about that. What's the other album you were gonna say?
You got Ray, Ghost,
Slicker.
I'm nervous about Ray and Ghost. I am nervous about that. I don't know how that's gonna sound. And
here's the thing: I would have mixed the two of them together. I would have been like, "Y'all just need to do a group album. Do a group album." I'm at least intrigued to hear that. You would at least spark. I'd be intrigued if y'all be like, "Yo, we got a Ghost Ray album again." That would intrigue me at least.
Yeah, and then the MOBB. I think, bro, you talked about the like all the loose songs and stuff like that with Prodigy. I'm thinking there's got to be loose verses out there too. So I wouldn't mind that. But it's a 96 through 99 Prodigy. I gotta hear that. I don't want to hear Prodigy.
And that the piece about MOBB I'm worried about is because Shook Ones was what 32 years ago. Like I haven't heard a Havoc beat to like fuck up my head in probably 10 to 15 years. Not saying nothing hasn't been good. I like the joint. He did a joint on Conway's album with Conway, Lloyd Banks, and it was dope. Yeah, but I haven't heard y'all. Shook Ones was amazing. Like, and take away Shook Ones, Godfather Part 3. Take away that. Put on Hell on Earth. Like, I haven't heard that Havoc in so long. Now we got Alchemists who don't use drums. So me seeing these two in the studio and Havoc and Prodigy's dead, I'm like, nigga, this math equation don't look right now. And again, I hope I'm wrong on everything. I hope it's an amazing album. I hope this does it. But yeah, man, I hope it's good, man. What you gonna say, Ro?
I was gonna answer, was I excited or not?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm cautiously optimistic for a couple reasons. One, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm not gonna be like real negative about my thinking about it, because I'm sitting back thinking, I'm like, yo, what do I listen to now? And it's like, ain't shit out now that, you know what I'm saying? Like everything, I'm like, what I'll be listening to is nothing new right now. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of gave me some like, all right, you know, this is cool. This can be exciting if it turns out good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna like be like, I'm not like super hyped, like, but I am cautiously optimistic that, you know, it's just something new, like something I know that for my ears I need something, because it's like nothing has came out recently that I'm really feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these are some of the legends. It's cool to see them still doing stuff. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I'm cautious, like Vegas said, cautiously optimistic. We'll see. I'm not going to be super crazy hype, but I'm not going to be like super negative either. I'm just, you know, hoping for the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what would, because I'm thinking about, you know, you Rel saying, you know, what am I listening to? What's coming? I hope their rollout is in its like own pocket, so we can kind of like, you know, whether we like them or not, kind of critique them as they hit.
Right.
That Clips album's on the way, and the snippet I heard, it's everything we waiting for.
Speaking of that, hold on.
You heard the snippet at?
Did you hear those Lost Daytona songs? Did you hear them too?
Yeah, I heard one.
Yeah, he got two. But where'd you hear the Clips snippet from? I ain't hear that.
It was on IG. It's one of those things where it's a video, but it's playing in the background. And it was only Pusha T's verse, I think. But even out of context, I was like, yeah, when that dropped, that's going to take all the focus away from whatever else is happening.
They said that joint's done, right? That album's done.
Yeah, he just said it's coming very soon.
Whew. Man, can't wait for that one.
But Rel, on that note, that's a great question. Porsche, what are you listening to this week?
I am listening to Tracy Lee's new joint that he dropped, which is very dope. I posted it. I'm also still listening to Leatherface 4. RJ Payne dropped that. It's on Spotify. So yeah, it's dope stuff I'm listening to. That Tracy Lee joint is so good.
All right, JR, what you listening to?
What am I listening to? Thanks to Vegas, I'm listening to August Charles. I'm into him. He got a new joint Till the Morning. Thanks to Vegas, he sent me that joint, and I'm into him. And like his joints is dope for real. Who else am I into? Who else I've been listening to a lot of Johnny for real since we did. You know, today is the anniversary, the 35th anniversary of his album. We did a catch that on it, and I've been loving Eric Roberson and BJ the Chicago Kid record, Where You Gonna Go. I love that record. So it's very inspirational, soulful, all that good stuff. So I've been rocking it at and Sir, his record.
It's an album, the Eric Roberson joint, or just a song?
He's coming out with an album, but this is just the first single off of it.
Okay.
With him and BJ the Chicago Kid. So yeah.
Cal, what you listening to this week?
The Dave East and Ransom album.
Okay.
Final Call.
Yeah, Final Call. Right. Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty
Bro,
much
what
it.
about you?
I was watching I don't know how it came up on YouTube, but it was a show where the Locks was on there, and they were having them put their headphones on and pick between which song that they liked or whatever, and they had to name a song that like embodied them at that time, and the song that got picked was "Calm Down," MOP off of the Warriors album. And I just remember how much I love that album. So that's what I've been listening to heavy this week. It is the MOP Warriors album. Because that joint is crazy.
All right. And Vay, what you banging?
I've been in my R&B bag, man. I got hip hop joints I'm rotating, but shout out to JR, current R&B bangers, Kevin Ross EP on repeat.
Yeah. Ain't it ill?
Man, I just wish this was a whole album, because I done had it on repeat. And the John B that he released recently.
Forgot about that.
The new album?
Yeah,
it's
good. It's really good.
Yes.
And you know how that go. You know, the sun is breaking. You know, we got some warm days up. You know, open the windows, and that Kevin Ross just sounds. My wife been on it. She looking at me like, nigga, I know the words. Like, I've been listening to it.
Yeah, Kevin Ross is dope. I've been on him. Yeah, he's dope.
All right. For me, and again, like JR said, thanks to Vegas, I've been listening to the Saba and No ID album. This from the Private Collection joint. That's dope. And again, thanks to Vegas, to Jim Jones at the Church Steps. I love this Jim Jones album, man. You know what I mean?
They be knowing, yo.
I like it, man. I mean, you get Jim Jones over the right production. I mean, the ad-libs alone, I probably know the ad-libs before I know goddamn words. Like, you know what I mean? To the song. So, and then I'm late on this, but this shorty named Georgia Smith, she's got an album, Falling or Flying. And it's so funny because I was like, Nay, you heard this shit? She's like, Daddy, I played that shit for you 3 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? And it went on in one ear and out the other. I'm like,
Georgia Smith, she's dope.
But Georgia Smith, Falling or Flying, man, I love that album. That's my thing right there. And it's funny, Vegas, like how you said when you were coming back from New York to Morgan, anytime before I travel, I always like pick an album. So this Georgia Smith was like my whole Miami album while I was there. So that's that. So yeah, loving that joint. Real quick, I gotta talk shit about myself, y'all. So I've been in this program for the past 5 months, community violence intervention program. It's like an all-star squad for people who do the work that I do in the community. It's 31 of us. We all had a project due, and it was on some Shark Tank type shit. You had to pitch it to funders, and only 8 of the 31 will won, and my joint won. That shit was incredible to me. I've never won shit.
Congratulations.
So it was like, yo, what the fuck? Like the last like what the fuck moment. Y'all know the machines that be at the arcade, the claw machines that drop down and pick some shit up. I won Naomi a beer first. You would have thought I fucking won a brand new Acura. Cause I was just like, yo, I fucking finally won something. Like niggas was acting like, yo, this nigga is just a little teddy bear. Didn't fucking matter. I won. So, and I have to salute my classmates. Yo, it was 2 days of amazing projects. Like the first day, if I was a funder, I would have probably funded at least 12 of the first day. I'm like, there's no way they can cut this shit down to 8. It's impossible. It was to the point that I didn't even want to go the second day. And that's not even in my nature to ever back down from a competition. But I was like, God damn, these joints were that good that I was like, why are we even bothering? So when they call my name, it's crazy. So I got some seed money to kind of start my curriculum. It's a hip hop music based curriculum. And a lot of people are really interested in it. So, you know, prayerfully things will pop off. But yeah, it was been an amazing ride with this community violence intervention program. I'm a miss it, man. So definitely a dope program. Yeah, so that's what it is. Vay, where can they get at you, good brother?
All right, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC, and check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, right here on YouTube. News and perspectives and other things. No, I don't talk about gossip. I don't talk about you bitch ass niggas on social media. Sometimes I do. I ain't gonna front that. Sometimes, but for the most part, you know, it's just really about celebrating the culture and content we like to talk about. And I like debates too, so trying to do a little bit more of that, more live streams and stuff like that. Also on the music side, if you don't know, me and Kill been doing more than just radio and content creation before it was called that.
Yeah.
We have degrees in this shit. Actual degrees. You know, that's why we do what we do. But we also, you know, he make beats, I rhyme, you know, we got 7 projects together. I checked on Spotify the other day and it was interesting to see the top songs from my catalog of music. They were all produced by Kill, I believe, which is dope because we have certain projects that are new, like Bed-Stuy Vintage BTS, which is an EP of like leftovers from the album Bed-Stuy Vintage. So you can visit VegasWorldInc.bandcamp.com to check that out. Or if you just use Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, the whole catalog of music is available there as well.
Yeah, and no doubt, I always just tell people they're not leftovers in the fact like the shits weren't good. It just didn't fit. The way that we make music is the way hip hop was supposed to be made. You make a bunch of songs and you pick what fits the concept. So it's not like these songs aren't dope. They just didn't fit the concept for the album. So want to always put that out there. Rel, where can I get at you, bro?
Uptown Rel 215 on Instagram. JBen 215 on Twitter. My album produced by Kill as well. It's Not You, It's Me. It is on all streaming platforms, and my Bandcamp is jarrell215.bandcamp.com. Again, album produced by Kill. Vegas is featured on it, and I got a daughter going to Harvard, man. Go buy it. I need all the money I can get.
That's right.
I need all the money I can get. And look out for me and Vegas EP coming.
Nice.
So,
All right.
The word. Say the word.
Kel, what's up, Queens? Where can they get at you, bro?
At Big Kelv on Instagram. If you're a Morgan alumni at morgan.edu. Make sure you get your ballot out. Vote for me, National Alumni President.
And here's the thing, y'all. Just for people who went to Morgan, there shouldn't even be a fucking this. I don't even know why this shouldn't even run. Like that. This should just be like we ain't even fucking around, y'all. So if you went to Morgan, definitely vote for Kelv. And I got to shout out App's Business is going to be having this grand opening May 3rd. My 51-year-old brain. What is it called?
Apple Core Bakes.
Apple Core Bakes. Some of the bakery, some of the best stuff. We were at Kelvin's son's graduation. Y'all know I count calories. I was like tasting every piece of it because I couldn't eat a whole slice of the cheesecake and all the stuff. So it's gonna be bananas. We're definitely gonna be bigging that up and getting people out there. So definitely support that. JR, where can I get at you? What happened?
I think it's one Bakery of the Year, 3 years in a row, Howard County.
Yeah, Bakery of the Year. So it's bananas, y'all. So definitely tap in. JR, where can they get at you?
R&B raps, of course. It shows, man, everybody been showing so much love with this Johnny Gill episode. Johnny actually rocked with it. Jimmy Jam rocked with it. They really rocked with the episode. So, people really been showing love with the episode. So really, really appreciate it. What else? Oh, our fan culture episode. When this comes out, we had Keith Burrows. He came on and talked about Jeffrey Osborne. So a lot of people don't talk about him. So it's dope. The fan culture we came up with, where you come on and talk about your favorite artist, but we ask you good and bad questions about them because we ain't with the stand shit. So you're not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Your favorite artist is not gonna do everything that you like. So we're gonna ask you questions that what album did you didn't like? What disappointed you about your artist? Because that fan culture on social media, like Beg said, they be with the bullshit, and that shit is whack to me. So we came up with that and got people coming on. So the episode is about Jeffrey Osborne, which was dope. Really,
what's the name of that fan culture?
We call it the fan culture. Yeah, catch that fan culture. So, somebody came on and talked about Diana already, and then somebody came on and talked about Shaka. So it's a lot of people did a lot of episodes, which is dope because you would never think some of these people don't like some of these artists. You'd be like, whoa, okay, all right, but it's a good conversation. Nobody bashing nobody, but just letting you know that stand culture is bullshit. So that's why we created that show. But I regular catch that. I'm doing JR's Stack Life now, which I'm gonna do 30 episodes of that. I'm doing like different, my favorite labels. So I'm on Stacks now. So you can catch me Junior's World of Soul on Instagram, Twitter, R&B Raps on Instagram and Twitter as well. Current R&B bangers. Yes, like I said, thanks to Vegas, he had one that I talked about, and actually August Charles actually retweeted and said thank you. You know what I mean? Like he was like, nobody really talked about his music, so he was hyped that I really did talk about it. So that was dope. So Vegas, thanks for that one, because I didn't even know for real about this dude. But now I'm on his music now, so that was dope. So yeah, current R&B bangers and all that good stuff. So JR Grove,
can I make a live request? Since I like the fan culture thing, you gotta know Michael Jackson and how I feel about it.
I already got that. I already said you doing him. I already had that already.
Okay.
I already had that already. I got all of y'all coming on. Oh, of course, we got you already. We got one that you got. You still got to come on and do the one that I told you got to do.
Dog, I just suck at scheduling shit, man. Y'all be all professional, sending me a calendar and shit. I'm like, nigga, just I'm old school. Just tell me the day. I got you right.
I'm busy, so we need to catch you before you know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
call me. I don't do good with calendar requests.
We got one for you too. At least just thought about it. I was like, oh, Rella do that. So yeah, so we that's gonna do different stand coaches stuff. So yeah.
All I know when I come on to talk about Myron, you better not talk about that fucking album cover. That's all I know.
I ain't gonna do it. At least gonna do it, not me.
Porsche, where can they get at you at?
At Shayla Porsche on social media somewhere. I just somewhere. Well, because I'm kind of not really anywhere, but sometimes everywhere. I don't know how to explain it.
I like that way. Y'all know this is Kill 889 Twitter and IG. I don't know if I ever showed this piece. This is a Bua piece right here, which is crazy. So Bua has 4 pieces for breaking, breaking, b-boying, DJing, MCing, and graph. And the graph in this is just crazy. I mean, you got the train track. You can see all the backpack with everything. I mean, the stuff on this is just crazy. So if y'all know, I love Bua. And this joint is just, again, bananas. So check that out. But I will check y'all next week, good peoples.